Well, well, well. Jerry Jones goes and does one of the best things he could have done right before Brian Schottenheimer's first game as head coach in Dallas. He signs Tyler Smith. The only thing I have to say to that before we get this show started.
You did one hell of a job, and the only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys? Yeah!
Let's go! Let's go! Jerry Jones signs Ty Smith to a monster deal. This is how you get your team hyped up before the first home game of 2025. Welcome, Cowboy fans and Cowboy haters alike. I'm the G, and I'm the host of Let's Talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. And as you come into this live stream, please hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell, so you will know the next time we post another video or go live. And yes, we are live. And if you haven't become a channel member, subscriber yet, please do. We have a lot of great things coming up this season. Now let's talk facts. Let's go. Jerry Jones is not resting on his laurels. Jerry Jones is ignoring the haters. Jerry Jones is signing every single player that he wants early. Y'all gonna believe me when I tell you you're gonna call me a prophet before it's over. Jerry Jones is moving different this year. People don't even realize. The trade even shows Jerry Jones is moving different this year. And I'm going to explain to y'all why this is absolutely one of the greatest moves that Jerry Jones has made. See, y'all gonna understand something. Kenny Clark is a great move too, but it ain't sexy. See, Tyler Smith, y'all gonna call me a prophet. The teams that win the Super Bowls, go check the rosters. Great defensive tackle play. Also, Diggy Zua, signed. Traded for Kenny Clark, got him. Cooper Beebe, drafted. Tyler Booker, drafted. Ty Smith, extended. That's how you win Super Bowls. You secure the middle. Center are two guards on offense, two defensive tackles. This is how you win. And I'm gonna show you again. I'm gonna tell you, as we get into this video, I'm gonna tell you why this is one of the greatest moves that Jerry could have made for this team. Let me tell you what we're gonna be talking about today. We're gonna talk about this Ty Smith extension. You gotta understand it to believe it. You have to understand it to believe it. And I'm hoping that we're going to get a press conference or something from Jerry Jones here in the next few hours. I want you to hear the Ty Smith press conference. The Ty Smith press conference, not from today, but from this past week. I'm telling you why they signed this dude. Then, of course, we still got to talk Cowboys and Giants. Pat Schwartz, 105.3 The Fan. He's going to give us another breakdown of the Dallas Cowboys versus the Giants. We're also going to listen to Brian Broaddus' breakdown of the Giants. Then we're going to go through another breakdown of the Cowboys versus the Giants ourselves as we look at this for what it is. There is no reason the Giants should have a chance unless the Cowboys have a total collapse. This team is going to be ready, I'm telling you. And then we will look at the final keys for the Dallas Cowboys to beat the New York, well, they call them the New York Football Giants. Ain't been much football over the last few years, but nevertheless, how the Cowboys can beat the New York Football Giants. That's the show. Ty Smith press conference. Pat Swartz, Brian Brothers breakdown, game breakdown, final keys. Todd Smith.
You did one hell of a job, and the only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys?
Yo, let's go. All right, let's get this show started. Let's go. Roll call up in this thing. Let's go. Dominique Pittman. He said, you called it, G.
Yo, G, bless him.
Tyler Smith got paid. I knew it. Jerry, now I'm gonna have to tell the truth, Dominique Pittman. Jerry surprised me. I thought it was gonna be last week. But Jerry is way more strategic this time. Jerry way more strategic. Don't do it before the Philly game. Don't do it before the Philly game, Dominique. Do it before the first home game. Let me tell y'all something. Y'all ever have any children? Y'all have children that's in high school, maybe they graduated. You ever notice what high schools do? High schools, when they have their homecoming game, a lot of times that homecoming game, they making sure it's a team they're gonna beat because they want to give good vibes going into that game. Have your homecoming, you have your celebrated people coming out of the halftime. It's all pumped up. All the little decorations and the flowers and the mums and everything, because you want them good vibes at their homecoming game. Do y'all know this is a homecoming game for the Cowboys? The 1,000th game for the Cowboys in some form or fashion. I'm about to look that up and see what that's all about. But nevertheless, Jerry Jones is doing things to make this game special. Ty Smith signing is huge. We're going to talk about the rest of it in a moment. John Jones said, what up, G Money? It's a New Jack City John Jones. Let's get this thing going. Hey, up in here. Tim Purnell, Miss Matrix, what's going on? Richard Owens, Inglewood Trojans. Miss Matrix said, hit that like button. 5 points of the star. Well. The Big Rombowski. He said 96 million for him. He's like a bull rush. He's like a bull rush right past him even in my worst days. Let's go. Derek Jones up in this thing. What's going on with you? Derek G up in here. Let's go. John Henry, my sister LaQueen from the beginning. What's up? Roderick, what's going on over in Flow Rider? Lolly up in this thing. Dak owns Filthy. He said Jalen Carter need to go to prison. Let's go. Ty Howard up in this thing. Star Guardian X, appreciate that super chat. The Cowboys are moving different. I've been saying it, Star Guardian. They don't want to listen to me. Shout out Ice Cold Cowboy. He ice cold too. What's going on? Deuce, what up in here? We got him for 6 years. Yes, sir. DJ 1000, 100 grand. What's going on with you? Reality Cowboy, he said, let's go. Shogun Oba, what up? April Showers. Brandy, she always says, my love. What's going on, Brandy? She said, I love it, Jerry Jones. D Block 88. He said, you be hype, bro. D Block, it's a great day to be alive. God has blessed us to be alive and blessed us with the best team on the planet Earth. That is the Dallas Cowboys. We just got to get that next Super Bowl. Q-Ball, what's going on with you? Nisi, again, my sister from the beginning. She said it's payday. Here we go. How about them Cowboys, Nisi? Let's go. Joseph Chapman up in here. He said it's a great signing. Let's go. C-Base, what's going on with you? Fist pump to you, my brother. John Henry again. Let's go. Ray Sean stanching this thing. We about to get this thing started. QB, I appreciate you. He said, yo, G, you be exegetical. Man, I tell you, I just bring some of my preaching stuff over into this thing and we get it going. Corliss Piper. Yes, sir. Let's go. I'm going to come back to your comment in a moment. All right, let's get this thing started. Chris Danzler up in here. Appreciate you. Sean Springer up in this thing. Let's go. The real estate vet. Let's go. Prime up in this thing. What's going on with you? Let's get this thing going. Justin Bradley, salute to you too. Happy Saturday, he said, Cowboys Nation. Getting ready to watch the Razorbacks. Let's go. Kimbo, 88. Let's go. Maury, let's go. CL, what up with you? Lee, AKA the headhunter. He said it too. Jerry doing things different. He might close the shades on the stadium when the sun is out. Yes, sir. Let's go. Big Coop up in this thing. R-Dub, I see you. What's going on? Lost in translation. Salute. Sean Brown. What's going on with you, my brother? Good to see you. All right, Dak fan for life. Appreciate that super chat. Dallas Cowboys 92. We them boys. I'm about to get that sample next too. Let's get this thing going. Let me tell you. Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones. Standing ovation. Standing ovation. And the reason why I'm giving Jerry Jones a standing ovation, I've been telling people, what has Jerry Jones not done that he said he was going to do? Jerry Jones, contrary to what people will tell you, Jerry Jones tried to sign MP early. And I'm going to say MP because I don't want to make this about MP. Tyler Smith getting signed is not about MP. Tyler Smith getting signed is going to be for every reason why I'm going to explain to you why this is a great move for the Dallas Cowboys and one of the best moves that Jerry Jones could have made this season. Jerry wanted to sign this man early. The thing that people don't understand, he couldn't do it because he wasn't going to allow Michael Parsons to negotiate 3 times, twice with him, once with Steven, get everything wrote, give it to David Mulugeta, and then David Mulugeta said, now we're going to negotiate from this point. Jerry said, I'm not falling for the okie doke. But Tyler Smith, the reason why Tyler Smith is so important to what the Cowboys have done and why it is important that Jerry signed him. Because Tyler Smith is the epitome of everything you want in a Dallas Cowboy. He's the epitome of everything you want in a Dallas Cowboy. Do y'all know that Tyler Smith, see, a lot of people are trying to write this off. Do y'all know that Tyler Smith is arguably the best guard in football? He's arguably the best guard in football. Do y'all know that a lot of people don't understand? Quietly, Ty Smith, 5th-year option. Now, why do I say quietly? Because Ty Smith wasn't broadcasting anything about his contract. Ty Smith, up under the same franchise, the same agency, Athletes First. And I told y'all, let me show you something. And I'm not gonna act like I'm the smartest man in the world. I'm just gonna tell you, I'm not late to this. Some people are new to this. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. I'm just telling you like it is. I'm not new to this. I told us way back when, if anybody remembers. I haven't had a chance to update the graphics, but let me show you. Talked about this weeks ago. See, some people, they be late. They come up in the chat. They just now discovering this thing, and they be acting like I'm up in here saying this, that, and the other, and just talking off the top of the dome. No. For those of you who've been here, I've been talked about this. I said that this dude, Ty Smith, was going to break the bank because Trey Smith became the highest paid guard in football, and Tyler Smith is better than him. I said it. 4 years, $92 million, $23 million per year, $70 million guaranteed. And I kind of figured, yep, Ty Smith was going to beat this. Ty Smith was going to beat this because Ty Smith is arguably the best guard in football. Ty Smith was ranked number 2 when Trey Smith got paid. A lot of people would argue that he is. What did I say right here? Weeks ago. What did I say? Ty Smith will be the highest paid. Isn't it strange? Ty Smith is with athletes first. Joe Panos and Todd France. Todd France is Dak Prescott's as you see agent. And look at what happened. He got signed. No hoopla. No fight in the media. No talking. The dude just kept playing football. Let me tell you something I've learned about people on social media. Social media is a strange place. Social media is a place where everybody wants respect. Everybody wants respect. And everybody says, I'll match your energy. I'll match your energy. For me, it's never about getting respect. For me, it's about giving respect. You get what you put out in this world. Most of the time, you get what you put out. I want to give respect because respect is earned. Tyler Smith earned this deal. Not just because of who he is on the field, but what he is off the field. See, there are some people out there. I question some people out there because they think talent is the whole deal. They think talent on the field is the whole deal. Hey, I don't care how disruptive you are in the locker room. I don't care how disruptive you are out there. I don't care how disruptive you are out there in the court of public opinion. I don't care how disruptive you are because you're so talented, we must have you on our team. Anybody who knows anything about teams, that's not how the team feels. The team don't want players bigger than the team. And the team recognizes real leaders. Ty Smith is a leader. Unequivocally, he's a leader. And the Cowboys are doing something different if you're paying attention. They're not interested in stars anymore. They're interested in the star. That's what this team is all about now. And I find Ty Smith's own words. He said, Michael got what he wanted. Well, I'm here to tell us, Ty Smith got what he wanted too. You know why? You know why this is important? Because Ty Smith proved he wanted to be a Dallas Cowboy. By his demeanor, by his play, the way he carried himself, the way he carries himself, the respect that this man has earned by giving people respect and being a 1,000% football player. This is great for the Cowboys because there are players watching this man says, that's how you do it. That's how you do it. Somebody says, how do you get signed with the Dallas Cowboys? Look at Ty Smith. Look at Ty Smith. That's how you get signed with the Dallas Cowboys. It's not just on the field with this guy. It's everything he brings to the locker room. This is why this signing is significant. And let me tell you something. They talked about this unanimous business. Well, I'm going to tell you something unanimous about this dude, Ty Smith. This dude, doggone Ty Smith, you better pay attention to Brian Schottenheimer. This dude, Brian Schottenheimer, is, man, I'm starting to realize something. Man, if you pay attention, this dude, Brian Schottenheimer, is telegraphing things the Cowboys are doing. This dude was talking about way back in the owners' meeting. If we would have truly been listening, we'd have knew everything they were going to do. Brian was concerned about building this team in the middle. After what the Philadelphia Eagles did to the Kansas City Chiefs, he was worried about the defensive tackle positions. Y'all better hear me when I'm telling you, Brian got what he wanted. Brian got what he wanted. Brian wanted defensive tackles in the middle because he understands that Super Bowls are won in the middle. Kenny Clark, they signed Oso Digizua early. Isn't that strange? Isn't it strange the Cowboys took care of Oso Digizua? And that was the one we were worried about. They went out and drafted again Tyler Booker. They got Cooper BB. And now they signed Ty Smith, who is absolutely the best offensive lineman the Cowboys have. He's the best offensive lineman. There is no doubt. He is the best offensive lineman the Cowboys have. I want you to hear Brian Schottenheimer. I want you to listen. Let me cue this up. Brian Schottenheimer told us exactly what the Cowboys are going to do.
You know, when you get to final cuts and you cut the roster down, you see a player that you like, but we will be without him this week.
What's the plan to replace him? And
We've talked about there's help on the way, but again,
Dig situation come. How does he play outside? How
Week 1 through 18 scenario where you're always kind of juggling things.
you're always juggling conversations. And what I want to point to is the physicality of the offense. Even Dak feels it, like most of these, tight end O-line guys, right? They're used to being down on the field, but me being the play caller.
Humor. When does he get a chance to show that? Because he's not going to show it to us.
Nick Harris, Fort Worth Star Telegram. We saw Cavante Turbans and Mozzie Smith, a couple of his best.
reestablish that? I know he.
Which we're going to get quite a bit of because of the excellent edge pieces we have.
Now, I just kind of threw this in here.
And again, I was actually on the 12th game.
I want to put a time frame on Glenn, but are you?
But what I'm going to tell
just
you,
to be able to close the door and sit with him for get a little bit of a temper, hopefully get a division win.
Joe.
Joe White, Dallas Morning News. You talked about Matty Rufus's adaptability.
Going through something very difficult, and just to be able to close.
what I want to tell you is, I normally cue this up, but it came off the top of my dome. But Brian Schottenheimer, he kind of called this in if you pay attention. Brian Schottenheimer was singing the praises of Ty Smith. And Brian Schottenheimer said Ty Smith is the best guard in football. And 2 days later, he gets signed.
No, he must be. He's doing TV. Yeah, he's doing TV.
This is what he told us.
Yeah, this is like the 9th media thing I've done today. So if I'm keeping.
He told us that Ty Smith was the best guard in football, and the Cowboys rewarded him. And not only did they reward him, but they're sending a message to the team. This is the kind of player we're looking for. Don't listen to the media. Don't believe the hype. If you want to be a Cowboy and you show it on the field, you show it off the field, they're going to sign you. They're going to sign you. This Ty Smith signing is important. And I'm going to tell you something else that's important about this. Jerry Jones said something to me that is mind-blowing. I don't know if y'all caught the other day, but Jerry Jones says something to me that I have never, it's the first time to me that I've ever heard him have this kind of confidence in Dak Prescott. Jerry Jones said the trade was the best way to get Dak Prescott a Super Bowl. Jerry Jones wants Dak Prescott to get a Super Bowl. If you think about these moves that they keep making, they're championship moves for sure. These signings, they're championship signings. But you think about the big signings. Cavante Turpin, Jake Ferguson, Ty Smith, and the trade for George Pickens. I don't understand it. Y'all got to help me understand it. Why does Jerry wait until this point in Dak Prescott's career, and now he's saying we're going to give Dak Prescott everything that he needs? You know what? I'm not mad at it. Better late than never. Better late than never. But all of a sudden, Jerry Jones is trying to put and solidify this run, and he said they want to take advantage of this window they have with Dak Prescott. Well, that window is this contract he has, the next 3 to 4 years. I'm telling you, man, the Cowboys are moving. All I can tell you is the Cowboys are moving different. They're moving like they want a championship. They're moving like they want one. I'm telling you, I'm not putting nothing past this team. I'm not putting nothing past this team. Contrary to what people are saying, the Dallas Cowboys are trying to get it. They're trying to get it. They're not done. I'm telling you, I will not be surprised. Cowboys play the Giants. They go out and get Jadeveon Clowney. I'm not going to be surprised. Let me read you this Tyler Smith extension. This extension is massive. But what makes this extension so powerful is the money that it saves the Dallas Cowboys, not only in the first season, but in the second season too. This season and the next season too, I believe. Let me read the super chat real quick from Star Guardian X. Star Guardian X said, I honestly wonder if after the Eagles' performance, Jones boys trusting Shotty even more now, and Shotty is now the puppet master behind some of these things. I can tell you this, Star Guardian X. Me and Niecy talked about this when we first started this channel. You know, the Joneses will give you that leeway in them first 2 years, so Brian's got to take advantage of it. They'll give you that rope the first couple of years. And the thing that I really like about the rope, though, that they have given Brian Schottenheimer, and the place where I do think this is a little bit different. It's only been since Jimmy that I've heard and seen the organization buy into a coach so hard. Jerry, to me, didn't even buy into Bill Parcells this hard. Jerry and Steven did not buy into Parcells this hard because Parcells was talking all this stuff about buying the groceries. Shoot, this dude, Brian Schottenheimer, had the nerve, the unmitigated gall to come out and speak out against, he came out and spoke out against Bill Parcells. He said, I know that Bill Parcells said you want to buy the groceries. You know, if you're gonna cook the food, you want to buy the groceries. Shoot, Brian Schottenheimer threw that in the trash. Brian Schottenheimer said, what we're doing around here is collective. He said it straight up. He said, what we doing around here is collective. Everything they're doing, he said they're talking about it collectively. I haven't seen them buy this hard into a coach since Jimmy Johnson. Let's read this thing with Tyler Smith. Let me tell you just how great this deal is. It says, anyone wondering who would be next in line to land a contract extension from the Dallas Cowboys in 2025? Pro Bowl tight end Jake Ferguson and all-pro cornerback Deron Bland both being secured on new deals this summer. Probably had all-pro left guard Tyler Smith somewhere on the radar. Yeah, we were talking about it. It says, if so, nail meet hammerhead because Smith has agreed to terms on and officially signed a record-setting 4-year contract extension worth up to $96 million with $81.2 million that secures him through the 2030 season. Let's go. Cowboy for life. Ty Smith is officially a Cowboy for life. The Cowboys got him through pretty much his prime. Cowboy for life. It says it's a negotiation that began early in training camp, and the deal arrived several weeks after the Kansas City Chiefs awarded offensive lineman Trey Smith with a 4-year, $94 million extension with $70 million guaranteed, and 1 year after the Philadelphia Eagles paid Landon Dickerson by the way of a 4-year extension worth $84 million and $50 million guaranteed. Look at this. Having exercised the 5th-year option on Smith for 2026. Very smart. Very smart. Deal starts in 2027, basically. Deal starts in 2027. This is why we got him through 2030. Absolute genius move by the Dallas Cowboys. Absolute genius move. Pay the man early. Highest paid. Somebody will eclipse this pretty soon. But the Cowboys have done a very smart thing, and they've done this with all these contracts. The only one that didn't get done the way they wanted it to was MP. But this is a very smart move the way the Cowboys made it. It says the 5th-year option worth a fully guaranteed $21.27 million. The Cowboys escaped a hefty cap hit and instead set themselves up for cap savings over the next couple of seasons, approximately $1.2 million and $16.1 million in 2025 and 2026, respectively. Smith entered the league as the Cowboys' first-round pick, 24th overall out of Tulsa in 2022. And though the selection was met with much chagrin from outside of the building, he has quickly entered the conversation as one of the best guards in all of football. There'll be no free agency for Smith in 2026 or anytime soon, as the heir apparent to the offensive line throne in Dallas accepts his crown. Ty Smith earned it. He absolutely earned it. It says here in 2024, Smith allowed just 10 pressures, 3.5% pressure rate, continuing his dominance. And seeing as that was good enough for second lowest among left guards over the past 7 seasons. It's safe to say the 2-time Pro Bowler is worth every penny. Yeah. Yep. I'm telling us, this was a great signing for the Cowboys. Man, let me tell you something. There is nothing better. There is nothing better to me than watching people who deserve, and I'm talking from every perspective. You look at them and you truly say, man, this dude deserves this. He's worked his butt off for it. He has worked his butt off for this payday. And he's been quiet. No hoopla, none of that. Quiet. He let his agents do their job while he did his job. Absolutely did a great thing. Yeah. Lee Time said, right, G, for him, Dak has to win with less to now the window. And see, this is why Jerry now is like, Jerry is in like, hey, we got to get this stuff around Dak Prescott because we got about a 3 to 4 year window, which I still say, if Dak Prescott gets a Super Bowl, and I think he gets one in 2026, no later than 2027, I think this team gets a Super Bowl. Dak Prescott gets that Super Bowl, I won't be shocked if the Cowboys extend him again and let Dak Prescott retire a Super Bowl. And retire a Dallas Cowboy. And I think if the Cowboys, I do believe if the Cowboys get that doggone Super Bowl in the next 2 seasons, next 2 to 3 seasons, I think the Cowboy fans won't have any problem with Dak Prescott retiring as a Dallas Cowboy. I don't think anybody have any problems. David Everett, what's going on? D Block said Jerry know his time is almost up. D Block. Yeah. Jerry know it is time. It is time. 40th Street Black, he said it's no way the Cowboys signed these valuable players if MP was given a contract. Well, 40th Street Black, let me tell you something. This is basically what Jerry's been explaining, and nobody is taking him at his word. Jerry is saying we made a business decision that we're going all in on Dak Prescott, and there's no way. And I thought this was kind of crazy when they were talking about doing it, because I said it before. I'm not paying a guy who don't touch the ball, don't run the ball, don't catch the ball, don't throw the ball, is not a ball dominant player. Man, I'm not paying no edge rusher quarterback money. I don't give a doggone what he do. Somebody going to show me a different kind of animal, because I'm not paying nobody that kind of money. But I'm telling you, Jerry Jones is going to continue to prove people wrong. But again, when you talk about Tyler Smith, this isn't even a prove people wrong move. This is no, Ty Smith deserved this move, and this is great for the Cowboys. This is great for the Cowboys. Nisi, we've talked about this before too. I agree with you on this. Jerry loves the headlines of the Cowboys having the highest paid player. I agree with you. And Nisi, especially when said player is absolutely one of the best players in the league at his position. Now, the thing I'm going to give Jerry credit for, though, and give this front office credit for, they've always been good at talent. They've always been good at talent. But what I'm liking what they're doing this year, they're getting the team part right. That's the part I'm appreciative of. The Cowboys are getting the team part right. And that is major, to get the team part right. And every move they've made has been about the team. And that, I'm telling you, I absolutely love it. The team. Love it, like it, or hate it. Every move has been about the team. How does this make the team better? And I'm telling us, Ty Smith. And man, let me tell you something. To watch a guy who deserves it, it just gives you a whole different feeling in your spirit when somebody gets truly what they deserve for being the right kind of person. I'm telling you, that makes you want that person not only to be successful, but you want to be successful with that person. You want to help them achieve. You want them to achieve everything. This is where I'm telling y'all, this is where this team is. They love it. I guarantee you they love the fact this dude got paid. I guarantee you every player on that team, there is nobody on that team right now saying, doggone it, they shouldn't have paid him. I bet you everybody is saying, hey man, that dude right there, he did it the right way. I love it. I am so not just happy for the Dallas Cowboys, happy for us as a fan base, but I'm happy for this young man as a human being. As a young man who shows a lot of maturity. This is the kind of player that you want to sign. I love it. I love it. It's great for the Cowboys. It's a great momentum builder. It's a great team boost to sign this dude right before you play the Giants. I think it's a great confidence builder for the team to know that this team has pushed on and went in the right direction, didn't let this thing that happened during training camp, didn't let this thing, whatever it was, it didn't slow down what the Cowboys' mission is. The Cowboys, and I'm going to hold Stephen Jones to his word, and this is why I've been rolling with this front office. Stephen Jones said, our goal, my goal, is to build the best roster in football. And you know why I'm still riding with him? Because Stephen Jones has yet to say we have the best roster in football. He's yet to say it. That's why this year we can finally take Stephen Jones at his word. Stephen Jones said talent acquisition is a 24/7 job. And we can tell Stephen Jones has been constantly working the phone, listening to Will McClay, listening to Brian Schottenheimer, having their meetings. This is why Jadeveon Clowney got brought in. And I am not going to be surprised if Jadeveon Clowney wound up in this thing after this New York Giants game. Why not? Why not get him after the New York Giants game? Because September the 28th, the playoffs begin. As Brian Schottenheimer keeps talking about, championship opportunities. Well, let me tell you something. The Green Bay game is going to be a championship opportunity. And I'm going to tell y'all this. If we don't think the Cowboys are going to be up to the task when the Green Bay Packers roll up in Dallas, you watch what I tell you. This dude, Brian Schottenheimer, I think he has a great chance to pull off what hardly anyone has been able to do with the doggone Green Bay Packers since as early as 2014. Beat the Green Bay Packers. Brian Schottenheimer has got some monumental moments in this season. This is a monumental moment this week. He'll have another one against Green Bay September the 28th. And I'm telling you, this kind of momentum going into as what we're about to see, we're about to go into the teeth of this schedule. This schedule about to get ramped up quick. This thing gonna get ramped up quick. This Giants game, we better enjoy it. We better get out there and beat the brakes off the Giants because every game going forward is going to be tough. I do think we should be able to beat the brakes off the Chicago Bears. Once we get to about the third quarter, we should be able to beat the brakes off them. But once we hit Green Bay, this thing is starting. This thing is starting now, as Cameo said. The big Rombowski, he said Bill Parcells was a decoy by Jerry to get the stadium built. I can see that. Yeah. Jerry Saw's popularity was so low in the late 90s, polling showed him voters in Dallas were not going to pass a tax for a new stadium. Yeah, Jerry's a businessman. I ain't going to doubt you on that one. Catherine Rita Kiss said, amen, G. He's good to stay. He deserves it. Yeah. Ice Cold Cowboy. You called it. And I'm telling you, you're a prophet for it. 73, going to be a Hall of Famer. I agree. Barring injury, I agree. Ron Hanna said, that's a great extension, G. I'm happy and no drama behind it at all. Yeah, boring like you said yesterday, but I'll take it, G. Boring is good. Ron Hanna, I'm telling these people don't understand something about this Dallas Cowboy franchise right now, man. They're boring, bro. And I love it. They're boring. It is crazy to me that when the Cowboys do stuff right, people will get so negative about it because they're not used to it, I guess. I'm telling you, I'm all about letting somebody change. Man, repentance is a powerful thing. I don't care how long it takes somebody, but when somebody repents and they start moving different, after you know what they've been doing has been they've been self-sabotaging themselves. Well, I'll tell you this, if they're going to turn it around, then I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I'm going to give them every opportunity, and I'm going to cheer them every step of the way. I'm going to cheer them. Dominique Pittman said, get paid. Tyler Smith, get paid. Yes, sir. 40 the Street Black. He said, oh, appreciate that $10 super chat. Hey, let me tell you something, 40 Street Black. First game of the season against those doggone pesky Philadelphia Eagles. They got to figure out a better linebacker combination. Sounds like Maurice Leofau is going to get more snaps this week. The Cowboys we got to give Murray at least 1 or 2 more games. We got to give Murray 1 or 2 more games. But I believe 40th Street Black, if Murray don't turn it around by the game 4 with Green Bay, shoot, Cowboys may be doing something totally different. Him and Damone Clark got to step it up. Murray looked lost out there sometimes. He really did. But again, 40th Street Black, I agree with you. And let's see what happens in the Giants and the Bears game, but I agree with you. But understand, I got to still keep in my mind 40th Street Black. It was the Eagles. That's number one. Number two, the Cowboys offense nor defense. Their starting offense nor defense. None of them played together in the preseason. And for that reason, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. And let's see what they look like by the Chicago Bears game as we get ready for that Green Bay game after that. But I do think we should see some improvement this week, especially since it's because the New York non-football Giants. So I do think we're going to see some improvement. But I agree with you. Yeah, better linebacker play. Matter of fact, 40th Street Black, yo, make sure you hang in here. We're going to have a little thing from Matty Dubs. Matty Dubs said the Dallas Cowboys defense is better than people think. I'm very interested to see what he's saying about this. Charles and Julie Lee, what's going on with you? Appreciate you. He said the Cowboys talk with Chuck. He said the best NFC teams can endure an injury. Well, can the Cowboys endure the loss of DeRon Bland? We're about to find out. Let me tell you something. The Cowboys were very proactive. They get DeRon Bland signed. What do? They go and sign not one, they went and signed two cornerbacks. They went and signed a nickel cornerback. They went and signed an outside cornerback. The Cowboys, I'm telling you, hey, Charlie, man, we got to give them some credit. Man, these boys, I don't know if they got a crystal ball. But this, the Reddy and the Traquez pickup, it was like the Cowboys were just like, hey, man, let's be ready just in case. They basically went and got two players that could actually do what DeRon Bland does. Inside, outside. Traquez outside, Reddy inside. And, man, I'm telling you, I'm very interested to see Reddy play tomorrow. People are talking like, man, this dude here, they're saying this dude is a ball hawk. I'm very interested to see what this dude is. Very interested to see what he is. So we're gonna see tomorrow. We're gonna see tomorrow. Man, can y'all believe we are literally less than 24 hours and the Cowboys will be playing at noon? That's what I'm talking about. Cowboys. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be a great game tomorrow. Ron Hanna, I'm ready for this one too. Ron Hanna said, I hope Brandon Aubrey is next or maybe Sam Williams. Heck, maybe get George Pickens. Why not? Ron Hanna, I want Brandon Aubrey to be next. This man, the best kicker in football. Let's stop playing. Lee Time, he said he disagrees. He said Jerry could have signed everybody. I think Jerry was wanting to sign everybody. But nevertheless, I can tell you this. Not only could he have signed, well, this move right here, Lee Time, he could have signed everybody as in his own players. But I'll tell you this move is going to allow the Cowboys to sign somebody that we don't even know who they are. That's what I'm excited about. That's what I'm excited about. This isn't just about our players being signed. This is about players that we don't even know yet that the Cowboys are going to be able to sign. I'm excited. Let me tell y'all something. I'm just telling you, and I'm not trying to be prophetic on this one, but I'm going to tell you the way Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones moving right now. Don't y'all rule out nothing. Don't y'all rule out nothing. Now, there's a very freaky player out there. And I'm not just talking about talent, but there's a freaky player out there by the name of Christian Wilkins. Boy, I'm just telling you, the Cowboys aren't going to surprise me with nothing. They're not going to surprise me with nothing that they may do as far as a pickup goes. I know some people don't want that freaky man, Christian Wilkins, but the rate the Cowboys moving, man, if they could get this dude cheap, it wouldn't shock me. It would not shock me if they went out and got this dude. I'm telling you, for as freaky as he is. For as freaky as he is. This dude can play. This dude can play, I'm telling you. All right. Let's check out this dude, Ty Smith, as they interviewed him the other day. Let's check him out. Yeah, Katharina Kids, I said it yesterday. Sign this man. Sign him. Teddy Drake, man, too. Man, I love it. Man, yeah. Teddy Drake said, I love he got paid. Man, I'm telling you, when a guy who does everything right gets paid, bro, you just love it. Preston Taylor said, now, they have to get Brandon Aubrey. Sign this man. Who could possibly be the highest paid kicker in the NFL? Nisi, you just said it. The Cowboys love having the highest paid player. Why not have the highest paid kicker? He's the best kicker in the league. Why not? Why not? And those kicker salaries are easy. He said, who could possibly be the highest paid kicker in the NFL is $7 million per year. The highest paid kicker right now earns $6.4 million. He plays for the Chiefs. Might as well let Aubrey be the highest paid. Why not? He can kick it from the parking lot. Big Moss Dog up in this thing. What's going on? Yes, sir. Hold on a second.
You did one hell of a job, and the only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys?
Yeah. How about them Cowboys? Let's go. Let's go. All right, let's check this out with Ty Smith. Just listening to this dude talk, man, it was inevitable. It was inevitable, man. This dude is just a great football player, just period. Great kid, great football player. Happy for him and his family. All right. All right, I guess we're going to have some technical difficulties here. All right, let me come back to that. Okay. All right, we're going to start tripping today. All right. Let's reload this, see if we can get Tyler Booker in here. All right, hold on just a sec.
I mean, he's an extremely large human being, and he's he knows his.
All right, hold on just a sec.
From that nose position. And knowing how to, put yourself in the right position to win.
No sacks allowed last week. How pumped are you when you have a game like that?
I mean, extremely pumped. I thought we did a lot of great things.
All right, let's get it in. We got Ty Smith. Had a technical difficulty there. Let's listen to Ty Smith in the presser. Let's check him out.
Defensive line, I think they've invested pretty highly into it. They got a lot of dynamic guys, so I feel like it'll be a great challenge for us. I think we got a great plan in place, and it's going to be a great challenge on Sunday for sure.
You've played Dexter Lawrence now a couple of times. What is it about him that makes him one of the better noses in the league?
I mean, he's an extremely large human being, and he knows his strengths, he knows his weaknesses, and from that nose position, he knows what he wants. So I think the most important thing is just, keying what makes him good and the situations that make him good, and knowing how to, put yourself in the right position to win.
No sacks allowed last week. How pumped are you when you have a game like that?
I mean, extremely pumped. I thought we did a lot of great things, but obviously, there's a lot to build on. We didn't come out with the W, and I think that's always, the end goal, right? So, I think we clean up those things. We protect the ball. We make the plays that I know we're supposed to make. We dominate the looks that we're supposed to dominate. We'll have a better result for sure.
We always talk about the process of the O-line being a unit and you guys getting that chemistry from being out there together. how would you evaluate where that process is at now?
I think it's coming along quite nicely. I mean, throughout training camp and even now, like the coaches have always been mixing and matching guys in there, just allowing you to play next to different dudes all the time. And I think that just helps the chemistry for when, dudes are up and down. Because ultimately, this is a business where week to week anything can happen to anybody. And so I think just being able to play next to different guys like Nate Thomas, getting Brock at center sometimes and, doing that is just really good for us overall in terms of that continuity.
He's only been here a couple of weeks, but how has Kenny Clark helped the iron sharpens iron philosophy?
I mean, I think he's helped us a lot. I mean, he's a very savvy vet. He works extremely hard, and he's a dominant guy. I mean, he's truly a dominant tackler. So I think that just in practice, it just makes us have to be better. It makes us have to, take the right steps, have the right leverage and things of that nature.
Jack says that he feels like he's got a bunch of fighters in front of him to protect him. Can you talk about having that mentality, and is that what you guys want to portray?
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, we got to be the most dangerous group on the field at all times, especially if we want to dominate games the way I know that we want to. In order to do that, you do have to have that fighting mentality because games aren't always going to go your way. We scored on the first drive, this past weekend, but what are you going to do when you don't score on that first drive? How are you going to respond to, those adverse situations? And I think, that'll reveal a lot about us. But I know one thing for sure, we got the right guys in that room.
With that being said, though, did Gagnon maybe take that fighter mentality a step too far?
He was just trying to replace his hands, bro. He didn't tell you. He was just trying to replace his hands, bro. I think, he kind of got out of sorts, but, he's going to appeal it. So hopefully he wins out.
Shai talked about wanting to have more bursts.
This is the right kind of guy. Violence under control. This is the kind of guy you want. Leaves it all out there on the field. He said we must be the most dangerous guys on the field. I'm telling you, man, I love what the Cowboys are doing. They're creating a football team. This is all they're doing. It's that simple, and people don't get it. This is a football team. The last few years, this has been a prima donna, all show, just a circus. This team has been it was a circus. We got us a football team. Ladies and gentlemen, we have us a football team. I said it yesterday, I'm going to say it again. Other than this other stuff, everything people have been talking about the Cowboys is football stuff. Signing your best player. This guy, signing one of your top guys, signing one of your best players, signing a guy that deserves it. And listening to this guy talk, this is a guy when you listen to him, you go, wow. When you watch him play, wow. Glad he got paid. Hallelujah. Glad he got paid. Terrence LeBird said, very good signing, G. Very good. Yeah, very good. Very good. Teddy Drake said Tyler got paid. He wasn't even expecting this today because he is true to himself and his team. Say it, Teddy Drake. It's a football player. We got a football team. Randy Cadell, appreciate that super chat. Boy, I agree with you. Randy Cadell said, G, he is one of the pieces of Jerry's vision with Shotty to take this team over the top. Yeah, I agree. I agree, man. I agree. I love it, man. Yeah, D-Block, he got a piece of that pie, didn't he? Moving on up like the Jeffersons. I love it. Dolores Betty Boo. Appreciate you checking in. Welcome to the congregation today. Michael A. said, I see Jerry's using that head for something more than a hat rack. Yes, sir. Sign his headliner player early. Stop letting them stack up together and have to pay them at the same time. Yep. And Michael H. People not giving this dude credit. He tried to do it. He tried to do it with MP. The mistake between both of them, not just him, both of them, trying to work outside of an agent was a bad idea. On both of their part, it was a bad idea. Hallelujah, what's going on? He said, I've been listening, just got to get in the chat. What's going on with your salute? 555 Kalex, he said everyone else that needs to be signed is a piece of cake. Smith was a major piece to get done. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Brandon Aubrey should be easy. Hey, I'm just telling you right now. The Cowboys could sign George Pickens. I'm telling you, the Cowboys could sign George Pickens. I believe the George Pickens deal is going to be somewhere between $25 to $28 million. The Cowboys could go ahead and take care of that this year. Might be sooner than people think. But I'll tell you this, I think they're going to get that deal done. I think they're going to get the Pickens deal done. Corliss Piper said Pickens may be later because of his demeanor on the field against the Eagles. Yeah, I can see that too, but I think they're going to try to get him. If he can prove that, hey, let's get him going and see what he got going. I think the Cowboys are going to be able to do a little something. I think they're going to be able to get him signed. Down South Cowboys say he don't believe they could have done this if they'd have paid MPs $47 million. Yeah, Charles and Julie, he said, they said, yeah, ready for this victory at Texas Stadium. Man, let me tell you, this is going to make this game. Even boy, you got me laughing. I'm laughing. Look at these comments. Yeah. The basement said he's part of the Diddy clan. He talking about Christian Wilkins. I think we can handle him. Yeah, Michael A. said leave Pickens alone. They got 16 more games to play. Stick a pin in the Eagles game. Yeah, I'm telling us, I would not be surprised if they get this dude done. Reality Cowboy said bring his fresh free. This dude, Reality Cowboy said bring his freaky butt in here. Long as he can stop groping other players, he'll be fine. Man, I'm with you. Get this dude some counseling, man. Get this dude some counseling. I don't mind him coming up in Dallas as long as he don't be in here with that crazy stuff. Randy said, gee, should we sign a defensive tackle Christian or trade for a running back one? Randy, I'm telling you, I wouldn't be surprised if the Cowboys did both of them. I would not be surprised if the Cowboys did both of them. But I do think the Cowboys, where we're headed, is the Cowboys are going to give Jaden Blue his opportunity, and is exactly what I think they should do. They're going to give Jaden Blue his opportunity before they go out there and start looking at running backs. And I'm telling you now, the Cowboys, I think we got a couple of things happening. The Cowboys are either going to, Jaden Blue is either going to burst or he's going to be an animal. The Cowboys are riling this dude up. I'm telling you now. Cowboys are riling. They are literally training an animal when you're talking about Jaden Blue. When Jaden Blue hits that field, Jaden Blue is going to want to prove to the world that he's that dude. You watch what I tell you. When that dude hit the field, let Jaden Blue get that run that Miles Sanders got. Let Jaden Blue get that run. Jaden Blue get that run, he bumping his head on the goalpost. He bumping his head on the goalpost. The Cowboys are going to give Jaden Blue his opportunity. They're going to give Jaden Blue his opportunity first. You watch what I tell you. Todd Church, it was a genius deal, wasn't it? 6-year deal. 2 years under this same contract, and then that deal starts. Great signing. Great way to do it. Great way to do it. Right on. Come on, man. Hey, right on. You already know what's going on with this man, Christian Wilkins. You already know. Boy, I'm telling you, man, to watch some of the stuff on this dude is crazy. My sister Lisa Worley up in this thing. Lisa Worley, what's going on? Boy, I'm telling you, I'm ready. I'm telling you, I'm ready for the Cowboys. I'm ready for this game tomorrow, and then I'm ready to see what the Cowboys do. Because I'm telling you, I will not be surprised if the Cowboys continue to make moves, especially as they quickly approach Green Bay. Especially as they quickly approach Green Bay. Let's see here. All right, let's go. Let's get some more of this Tyler Smith interview. Man, I'm telling you, I am so happy for this young man. So happy for this young man. I'm so happy for him. Happy for his family. Happy for the Cowboys. Happy for our fan base. No matter what, I like what this team has done this year. They haven't let anything get them down. They're staying on the mission, and their mission is to continue to sign this. Their mission is to continue to sign their own and make this team better. Sir Knows, what's going on with you? Good to see you. All right, let's get this thing going. Keith Shore, what's going on?
This week in a perfect world, playing against a front like the Giants. What's the key to making that?
I think, like I said earlier, dominating the looks that we're supposed to dominate. Like Coach Clayton, he talks about premier looks. And, we drill them, we work them in meetings and things of that nature. But when it comes to Sunday, I think just knowing those keys and, knowing where you're at, knowing what the play is and your responsibility in it, and if we dominate and execute the way I know that we can, we'll have those explosive runs that we're looking for.
I got to put that in my vocabulary. I was trying to think of it this morning. Clayton Adams says premier looks. And he said that a premier look, he said it you don't always get it. But the premier look that Miles Sanders got, and this is why that play with Miles Sanders is such a travesty. He said it is rare that you get the premier look to where everything you drawed up on that play happens. Every blocking assignment, the way the hole opens up, the open field. It's the premier look. Well, they got one. And Miles Sanders didn't capitalize on it. I am excited. I hope Jaden Blue is playing tomorrow. I've been looking for the unofficial roster or the unofficial depth chart against the Giants to see if he is on there. Also been looking for Mazi Smith. See if he's on there. But I am praying that Jaden Blue is on there because I want to see Jaden Blue get one of those premier looks. I'm telling you, Jaden Blue get one of them premier looks, he going to the crib. But again, man, these dudes are living up to everything they said. Being violent in the run game. Clayton Adams was absolutely violent in the run game. I'm ready. My sister, Angie the Rebel Chicks, my unofficial co-host. What's going on, Angie? Angie, no brainer. Angie, no brainer. Pay Brandon Aubrey. No brainer. No brainer. I'm hoping they get that one out of the way next. It's an easy one. It's an easy one. And I do think it would be great for the relationship between the Cowboys and Athletes First to go ahead and get Brandon Aubrey done. Why not? Why not make Brandon Aubrey the highest paid? Why not? If there is anybody that deserves, Niecy, if there's anybody that deserves to be the highest paid kicker in the league, it is Brandon Aubrey. LaQueen, what do you think? I say absolutely. I say absolutely. Yeah, let him be the highest paid. I'm loving it. Carlos Piper, he said, Pastor G's, I heard yesterday that it's the playbook with Blue. Hey, Carlos Piper, I'm sorry. I told this story before, man. Carlos, I don't give a doggone if this man can't read X's and O's, 1, 2, 3s, ABCs. I don't care if this man can't read it all. When you got 4.340, sub 4.340 speed, when I put you in the backfield, if I'm Dak Prescott, I'm going to walk up to him and say, hey, Jaden Blue, run to the right, you find the hole. Jaden Blue, run between Tyler Smith and Cooper Beebe. I don't care if I got to make it that simple. When a man is that fast, he got to be on the field for me. I'm not getting him in there to block. I don't want, what I want Jaden Blue blocking for? I don't want Jaden Blue blocking. I got this dude for his big playability. I got Javonte Williams for blocking. I don't know. I might even got Miles Sanders. But I'll tell you this. Yeah. I want this dude on the field. I don't give a doggone about people talk about the playbook. Man, throw that playbook in the trash. This dude can run. Man, running back, everybody know this. Running back translates to the NFL like no other position. Man, these young men been running since they were 6 years old, running away from people and just killing people all the way from little league, high school, college. Man, I was actually laughing. Derrick Henry told a story to me that is absolutely fascinating. This dude, Derrick Henry, said that when he got to Alabama, he said he was having a hard time. He said he had to tell Nick Saban, plays? We didn't run plays. I'm Derrick Henry. We didn't run plays. They gave me the ball and said run. Yeah, he a running back. Man, I'm telling you, man, we making this stuff too complicated with this dude, Jaden Blue. Let's keep working with him on the playbook. But let's not hurt ourselves by not allowing him just to use his talent. Bro, we got him for one thing only. Run the ball. That's all we got him for. Run the ball. Dolores Betty Boop, she said, gee, love your chat. You be cooking. Hey, Dolores, this is the best chat on YouTube. Let's go. Standing ovation for the chat. Let's go. All right, let's get some more of this dude, Tyler Booker, in here, man. This dude is a great guy. I'm so glad he got paid.
Tyler, I know you're playing that episode. One of those premier looks was on that 50-yard run with Miles Sanders. Whenever y'all see that pre-snap, and I know they stemmed into it, happened so fast. Is there nonverbal communication you'll have across the line?
Premier look, there it is.
There's verbal and nonverbal. I mean, and we have we're in the room up there. If we have those looks, we know that when the front changes, we know what we're supposed to do, right? And T still had a very dominant block on that play, and that's one of those touchdown blocks we talk about all the time. And for him to come across and do that, that's what I'm talking about when I say executing at an extremely high level in those premier looks. So.
Get out of there that quick?
Who?
T-Steele.
Oh, bro, yeah, T-Steele's really fast, bro. She is.
Fastest one, you guys?
Man, I can't say that. I think we're all pretty quick, but.
When Dak's in the lineup, you guys haven't lost to the Giants, or you had never lost to the Giants. What is it about facing this team that gives you guys so much success?
Man, I think every Sunday we're looking for that success. I think we just, we come out and we have a great plan. We got the right guys to execute said plan. So I really think that's just what it is.
With Tyler, I know you're in tune with your own blocking, but how much are you in tune with what Dak was doing?
This is an astounding record. Teddy Drake said Dak is a giant killer. Pull up his record. Well, Teddy Drake, I think I'm going to pull up Dak Prescott's record. Man, look at this right here. Dak Prescott against the New York Football Giants. This dude is 13-2. Boy, this has to be one of the best streaks. Dak Prescott, 13-0. Hadn't lost to him since his first two games in the season. His first two games of his career. This dude, Dak Prescott, is insane against the Giants. But I'll tell you what we're going to do. As a matter of fact, as we get into the Giants in this on this show today, I want to go back and look at Dak Prescott versus the Giants last year. Boy, let me tell you something. We beat them boys, but we struggled against them. We absolutely did. Randy Cadell said, if Jaden get loose, rock-a-bye, baby. Straight up. And that's straight from New Jack City. Rock-a-bye, baby. Angie said, gee, next post-game live, you should do a call-in. Yeah, I'm getting it together. Angie, I'm trying to put together something that's going to be crystal clear. So I'm going to try to get that. Matter of fact, I'm going to try to make it my business to get that. Matter of fact, to get that when I get off of here. It's quite a few pieces I got to get, but I'm going to see if I can get that. Now, Angie, I'm going to tell you this. So I'm going to make a deal. If I get this new call-in system tonight, and if I can get it set up by tomorrow, if I don't get it set up by tomorrow, we're going to get it set up by the next game. Now, here's the issue. When I do the call-in show, I saw you over there on your YouTube page. So when I get this call-in show, then you telling me you going to call in. We got a deal? This is the deal. You, Niecy, and LaQueen, y'all got to make sure y'all call in. I want to hear from Miss Matrix. I want to hear from Katharina Kiss. I want to hear from all the ladies. Then when I get that phone, when I get this system set up, fellas, we want to hear from all the ladies. And I definitely want to hear from some of y'all other wrench holders too. I want to hear from Ron Hanna, Ice Cold Cowboy, I mean, I'm telling you, I'm gonna go down the line. People who y'all, when I get this set up, y'all better call in. I want to hear from all of y'all. Call Carl Alder. I want to hear from D Block. I want to hear from Poopy D. I want all y'all to call in when we get this thing set up. Matter of fact, when we get off here tonight, Lisa Worley, you too. I want to hear all y'all calling in. So when I get this phone set up, y'all better call in. We got a deal, Angie? We got a deal, Ice Cold Cowboy? Newhouse fam, C-Base, all of y'all, Star Guardian X. When we get this set up, I'm expecting phone calls off the doggone hook when I get this thing set up. We're going to try to get it set up. We'll see if we can get it set up by tomorrow. If not, we will have it set up by the next game. I'm going to keep that promise. But again, I'm sorry. Dak Prescott is a giant killer. 13-2. 13-2. We'll look at Dak Prescott's game last year, his last game against the Giants last year. Man, I'm telling you, Cowboys actually struggled in that one, though. They absolutely struggled in that one.
In terms of his capability last game and kind of getting out of the pocket, was that something you just noticed in film and you're like, oh?
I mean, he's always been a strong dude, bro. And, like, I mean, you can tell that, when those plays are kind of breaking down and he has to come and make a play, like, he has the capability of making that play, even when he shouldn't be in that situation, if you get me. So I think that's just a testament to how special he is as a player, his unique skill set for sure.
Was there one play last game where you're like, that one where you kind of shook off some guys were like, damn, we're like, okay.
Bro, yeah, bro. It was, I can't give the play name or nothing, but we all saw it. Like one where, Jordan Davis had him wrapped up and he kind of, he got out of there. And so that was pretty impressive to me. That's a big dude. That's a big dude to have on your back and not go down. So.
CD said that Dak's been hooping since camp.
Yes.
You feel like that?
I'd have to say yes, I do. I think he's been throwing, a lot of good balls. He's been diagnosing plays the right way. He's been dominating adverse situations. And I feel like you can't ask for more from your quarterback than to dominate in those situations where the look isn't what you want it to be or, the protection isn't, where you want it to be. So, yeah.
What looks different, though, than maybe past years at this stage of the season?
To be honest, he's always been the same guy. I think that's what makes him so great is his consistency. His consistency at attacking his work, his consistency at attacking the game plan, and just, the confidence that he comes out there with.
You mentioned.
They're asking the question. They're asking the question about Dak Prescott.
Yes! Here we go!
They're asking, why is it that Dak Prescott looks different? And I'm telling you, I agree two things can be true. Dak Prescott has always been that guy. For me, Dak Prescott always been that guy. I'm going to tell y'all what's different. And Nisi, I want you to chime in if you're still on here. Nisi, I want you to chime in. You tell me, what do you think about what I'm about to say in the chat? Tell me what you think. When I first started this channel, one of the things I talked about was Jerry Jones used to take these shots at Dak Prescott, saying stuff like, we only go as far as Dak take us. And that's where he took us. It always, when they brought in Trey Lance, it always seemed like, even when they put Dak on 2 franchise tags, even when they signed him, I overpaid you, don't you? I mean, it was always like Jerry, it was like he liked Dak Prescott. He liked Dak Prescott, but he also made him the butt of jokes at times too. But the thing to me that's really different about Dak Prescott this season, for whatever reason, he's definitely looking different in his eyes. I mean, Dak looked like he's on a mission to get this Super Bowl. But I'm going to tell you what is a big difference to me. The endorsement that Jerry Jones has been giving Dak Prescott is incredible. I don't think people are listening to what Jerry said in that last interview. Jerry Jones said the trade was the best way to get Dak a Super Bowl? Wait a minute. To get Dak a Super Bowl? So, Jerry, you're saying that it is your goal to get Dak Prescott a Super Bowl? I mentioned it earlier. And let's add this part. Maybe Dak Prescott actually feels like that the owner actually wants him as the quarterback. And not only does he want him as the quarterback, he is doing things. He is doing things to show he wants him as the quarterback. My wife will tell you, I preach this and I teach this. I'm a very different human being. You don't have to ever tell me you love me. You don't have to ever tell me you love me. I'm more into actions than words. People will tell you they love you and they'll stab you in the back. People will tell you they love you and they'll insult you. People will tell you they love you and do everything opposite of what they said. Jesus said they honor me with their lips, but their actions are far from me. I don't get enamored when people say I love you. It's when people show you they love you. That's what gives you that warm, fuzzy feeling. And it seems to me, one of the things that may be really pressing upon Dak Prescott is the fact that Jerry Jones is actually not only saying, but he's showing that he now has confidence in his quarterback and he wants him to be his quarterback and he wants him to get a Super Bowl, and he's showing it by the things that he's putting around him. Yeah, I'd be moving different too. And I'm telling y'all this, did I not say that when Jerry traded MP, he literally handed the team over to Dak Prescott? He handed it to him. Jerry said the leader, the unchallenged leader on this team is Dak Prescott. Jerry's putting his money where his mouth is. And I don't think I've seen, this is one of the first times I've seen Jerry doing this stuff for Dak Prescott. It's one of the first times I've actually heard Jerry talk about Dak Prescott in this vein. Now, he said things before like, yeah, Dak's a quarterback. I like Dak. Dak's the ultimate leader. I've heard that stuff before. But what I haven't seen before is Jerry putting that stuff into action. Yeah, Dak Prescott is the ultimate leader. He's the leader of this football team. We want to get a Super Bowl for Dak Prescott. But what I haven't seen is, now let's show him. Let's show him we believe all those things. Bring in George Pickens. Yeah, that was for Dak Prescott. That was for Dak Prescott. Tyler Booker. I said it when they drafted Tyler Booker. That was for Dak Prescott. Signing Ty Smith with no headache. That was for Dak Prescott.
Here we go.
A lot of the stuff this team has been doing, it is for Dak Prescott. Jerry is seeing a window that he wants to take advantage of. And he is saying that we have one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Let's act like it. Let's act like it. I'd be moving different too. Let me tell you something. People act different when you show them you want them. I think that's one of the biggest differences with Dak Prescott. And this Ty Smith signing, another sign that Jerry is showing Dak, I love you, Dak. Now let's get it done.
In the offseason, that shoddy was putting it on the offensive line to decide the outcomes of these games. As the play caller, did he feel like he gave you an opportunity to do that?
I absolutely do. I think, no matter what play is called, it's our job to execute. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to continue to get better each and every day. And, we're going to execute when we need to execute. We're going to win when we need to win.
With Tyler Booker, Dak said Jalen Carter was trying to intimidate him before
I can't wait, Todd Church.
happened.
how did you see him handle the Eagles' tough defensive front, and then how do you think he'll do against the Giants?
I think he handled it extremely well. I really thought he had a dominant showing, especially in his first showing against a great team. I think he'll continue to trend on that track. I think he's going to have a great game versus the Giants. I mean, we've had great practices these past couple of days, and he's been in tune with the game plan. He's been working the way he's been working all year. So, yeah.
I can tell you now, if the line blocks the way they're supposed to for Dak Prescott will be sitting down by the fourth quarter. Dak will be sitting down by the fourth quarter, no doubt about it to me. Angie the Rebel Chicks. Angie the Rebel Chick said Jerry said that now because Trigger. Boy, you making me rolling over here. Angie said Jerry said that now because Trigger Trey and Mr. Flip was a no-go. Angie, I forgot about Mr. Flip. I forgot about Mr. Flip was supposed to come in here and take Dak Prescott's place. Shoot, Dak Prescott has played so good. Dak Prescott has played so good during training camp. What we thought was going to be the Joe Milton training camp actually didn't turn out that way. Dak Prescott really played that good during the training camp. Oh, boy. Boy, these G-callers, boy. Boy, what do y'all come up with this stuff at, man? What do y'all come up with this stuff? All right. Let's see here. DK, what's up? He said, no disrespect, but why can we praise Dak his record against the Giants, but it's a team sport where we lose? I never count that as a quarterback stat. DK. Funny thing is, Dak Prescott said the same thing. Dak Prescott said that's a team thing. Now, I do think the reason why that's being said, though, DK, is it's because of Dak Prescott's statistics against the New York Giants. And hey, DK, you already know how this goes. The quarterback gets too much credit when you win, and then he gets too much blame when you lose. That's the life of a quarterback. And when you're the Dallas Cowboys quarterback, especially after Troy Aikman, you are the reason why. You're the sole reason why the team won, and then you're the sole reason why the team lost. But DK, I can tell you what I can appreciate about this team. I can appreciate the fact that this team, though, and even Brian Shoddy has been trying to get away from this, what we're talking about it's Dak or we're only going as far as Dak take us, and it's Dak or bust. And Shoddy has done a great job of trying to get the entire fan base away from that. And I think this is what's got this team in a different mindset, is because they're no longer thinking that. I don't think they're thinking like that anymore. And that's the thing that's so impressive to me. I do believe this team has in their minds it is a team game. I'm telling you, DK, the one thing that I love about the Cowboys, we got us a team. I don't care what anyone says. We have us a team. We have a team, and I'm telling you, I'm rooting for them. I'm rooting for them, and I'm praying for them. We have us a team. Something that I'm telling you, we've had a circus here for years. We've had great players. We've had some great seasons ending in disappointment. Because I'm going to tell you something. The circus don't travel well. The circus don't travel well when you're talking about the Super Bowl. The circus travels well for the entertainment. It don't travel to the Super Bowl. You know what travels to the Super Bowl? Teams. Teams that have great trenches. Shannon Sharp said it. Shannon Sharp said, you don't take great players to the Super Bowl. You take great teams to the Super Bowl. That's the part that people don't get. We've always had great players. We've rarely had teams. And I said this before. Jerry is finally he's finally understanding the Jimmy Johnson sauce. The Jimmy Johnson sauce was not just the talent. The Jimmy Johnson sauce was the talent and the mentality. And that's why Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin, Troy Aikman, those other players, they were talking about the mentality of the team. The mentality of the team. And where Jerry has been trying to maintain talent, that's why he's been failing. Talent fluctuates. But if you can build a culture, you can bring talent and less talented players into a great culture and still win. Go look at those doggone New England Patriots when Tom Brady was there. Nobody rarely knows the name of hardly any of the players that played with Tom Brady because Bill Belichick built a great culture. Do your job. No fanfare. The most boring, dumbest, stupidest interviews you ever see by a head coach. That's what it was. I'm telling you, the Cowboys are boring. I love it. Cowboys are boring and I love it. Uh-oh, I got some commitments. Ron Hanna said he calling in. Boy, I see everybody talk about they calling in. Boy, okay, I ain't gonna be able to get a word in once I get this set up. If it don't be Sunday, it will be the Chicago Bears game, and I'm gonna let y'all have it in the Green Bay game. I'm gonna let y'all have it after the Green Bay game. I don't care if we stay up to 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm gonna let y'all have it. I'm gonna let y'all say everything y'all want to say after that Green Bay game. Win or lose. All right, boy, I got a lot of commitments. Everybody talking about they calling in. Appreciate it. Standing ovation for the chat. Let's go. Yo, let's do it. I'm excited. All right, let's listen to the rest of Tyler Booker. Then we got a couple more things we want to get into. Appreciate y'all. Best chat on YouTube. Let's go.
Say when they make a connection with the ball, sometimes they don't even feel it. When you're blocking someone, is that the same case when you know you got someone? Do you always feel it, or are there times where you don't feel it even if you put a good look on a guy?
I mean, I think that's the beautiful thing about offensive line. It's always in the finish. It's not about how you start a block or what happens, throughout the duration of a block. It's how you finish the block. Like, you'll see plays where, things break down and a guy literally, just barely pushes a guy past and just gives, his running back or his quarterback that little lane to step up or that little lane to run through. And I think that's really where you kind of see, how good you are and how good you finish blocks. So, yeah.
Jared Thomas said Dak Prescott is an NFC East killer. He owns that division. Now, let me tell you something about this Cowboys team. This Dallas Cowboys team. Y'all watch. Let me tell you what I've been watching online that is literally mind-blowing. Let me show you how the media is now trying to save face because they don't want to admit they were wrong about the Washington Commanders being a top 5 team. Have y'all been seeing this nonsense that they've been trying to explain? Oh, the Green Bay Packers gave the blueprint for beating the Commanders. Yeah, you know what the blueprint is? Have a better team. That's the blueprint. The Washington Commanders, whether anyone faces it or not. Do y'all know the Washington Commanders? They don't have no star players other than Jaden Daniels in the grand scheme of things. And their team is nowhere near as everybody thought it was. Somebody said it in the chat the other day, and I 100% agree with it. The Washington Commanders benefited from a down season from the Cowboys, a down season from the San Francisco 49ers, the Detroit Lions getting decimated down the stretch on defense. The Washington Commanders benefited from so many things. Having a good team isn't the only thing that can get you to the NFC Championship game. You can just get on the right path, and if you get on the path to where there are teams who are injured, beat up, missing star players, all kinds of things, man, you can find yourself easily in the NFC Championship game. Problem is, when you get to the NFC Championship game, more than likely, the team that you're facing is not going to be beat up. Somebody's going to be better than somebody once you get to the NFC Championship game, and that's why they got mollywopped. They got mollywopped. They came up against the New York Giants, I don't understand how do you score 21 points on the New York Giants, even though they did say there were some drops by the Washington Commanders wide receivers. But I'm telling you, it wasn't just the fact that the Green Bay Packers were that good on Thursday Night Football. No, the Commanders were awful. Let's just say it for what it is. The Commanders were awful. They were awful. They're not good. They're awful. And now they're sitting up saying stuff like, yeah, you know, the Green Bay Packers gave the blueprint. The blueprint. So y'all gonna still hang on to this narrative. So they gonna still hold on to this narrative about the Washington Commanders. Man, miss me. The Cowboys, right now, I believe right now, the Cowboys are possibly the best team in the NFC East. And right now, I believe the Cowboys is one of the top 4 teams in the NFC East. One of the top 4 teams. It's only been one game. But what I saw with the Eagles, if they can continue to build on that, that's why I was so glad they played the Philadelphia Eagles in that first game. If the Cowboys continue to build on that, if the Cowboys come out against every team for the rest of the season the way they came out against the Eagles, man, we could be looking at 13 wins. If they clean up the mistakes they made on the Eagles and come out with that same physicality, that same intensity, because I'm telling y'all, I know we don't like the Sheagles and everything we call them. The Sheagles, the Beagles, the Birds, and everything else we call them. There are not many teams out there, when you look at their roster, there are not many teams out there better than them. Well, I can tell you this, we look better than them on that Thursday night. Shot ourselves in the foot, walked out of there with a loss. But I like our chances. I like our chances. I do. I love it. Jared Thomas, he said, gee, even the all of a sudden arguably best quarterback in Jalen Hurts like Kevin Wiles is laughably starting to say now has been owned by Dak Prescott in their careers. Check the records. Oh, yeah, no doubt. And I tell you this, Dak Prescott is going to have an opportunity to change a lot of minds. D-Block said, you're absolutely right, G. I'm telling you, Dak Prescott is going to he's got an opportunity to change a lot of minds this season. Dak Prescott may absolutely be on an MVP tear. And I can tell you what, this MVP race, it's about stats. Dak Prescott has an opportunity to put up some mad stats this week. Dak Prescott, if he don't be Offensive Player of the Week this week, I'll be shocked. If he just keep doing what he's doing. Dak's going to be great this season. He's going to be in that MVP race. Front office said Dak knows this and next season may be his last. I think it's actually a 3-year window. They can't get from up under Dak Prescott to 2028. And I'm telling you again, front office, I'm preparing us. And I don't think it's a bad thing. That contract is actually designed to extend. I'm telling us, Dak Prescott's contract is designed to extend, not to get from up under. It's not designed to get from up under. It's designed to extend. I'm telling you now, Dak Prescott goes to the NFC Championship game this year. Dak Prescott goes to the Super Bowl next year. I promise you, I'll be shocked if he don't retire a Cowboy. Jerry does not like his franchise quarterbacks playing for other teams. Aikman didn't do it. Romo didn't do it. Jerry's not going to want Dak Prescott to do it. I'm telling you, you watch what I tell you. They're not going to want Dak Prescott to play for another team, especially if he gets that chip. They're going to let that joker retire the jersey. Dak Prescott by 2028. This is why it's important for Dak Prescott to get a Super Bowl in the next 3 seasons. Dak Prescott will literally own almost every single record as a quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. I'm talking completion percentage, yards, touchdowns. Dak Prescott is going to own every good record you can own as a Cowboy, but he's got to own the one that is the most coveted. He's got to get a Super Bowl for the Cowboys. And I believe Jerry's going to try to help him get that. I think Jerry's going to try to help him get it. Ron Hanna says, as long as I can remember, I haven't seen a player dominate a team for this long. He said, man, we got to give Dak his credit. That's all to do, y'all. Man, let me tell you. He been putting up some crazy stats. Nisi said, facts, G, and Dak said, without saying, that he ignores old Jerry. Nisi, this is the first time I've heard Jerry and seen Jerry do this. Jerry is showing that he has all the confidence in Dak Prescott. And I told you of this, and some people might not accept it, but I'm telling you, trading Micah Parsons was Jerry Jones saying, Dak Prescott, this is your team. No, we're not letting anybody challenge you as the leader on this team. And this team is better if you're the leader. I'm just telling us. I'm telling y'all, for all these people who keep hating on Jerry, Jerry trading MP was one of the hardest things he ever did. Jerry is saying all the right stuff, but I'm telling you, I know it was hard for Jerry. And I still say the conspiracy theorist in me still says Jerry did him a favor. Jerry did him a favor. I'm sorry. He shouldn't ever say another bad word about Jerry, because if Jerry was being vindictive, Jerry would have sent that joker to Cleveland. Jerry would have sent him to Cleveland. Jerry would have sent him to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jerry would have sent him to the Tennessee Titans. Jerry could have sent him. But I'm going to tell you something they talked about on the local radio station, 105.3 The Fan over here. 105.3 The Fan over here, and I thought it was absolutely crazy. You know what they said that was crazy? They said no AFC team was interested in Micah Parsons. Tell me that isn't crazy. They said not one AFC team was interested. You can take that for what it is. I don't understand it. Yeah, DK, I just said it. I just said it. No, Jerry wanted to sign Micah. He wanted to sign Micah. But I can tell you this. There was a lot of people in the Dallas Cowboys organization that didn't want him to do it. They didn't want him to do it. And there's a lot of people in this organization, they actually like it, and it's going to make this team better for it. Jerry chose the team over a player. A lot of people not going to understand this. All of this stuff can be true at the same time. Do y'all know that 5 and 6 things can be true at the same time? Jerry wanted to sign MP. Jerry and MP got personal. Jerry didn't want to trade MP. But then Jerry did want to trade MP. Jerry did want to improve the game, the run game, trading MP. There was a unanimous decision on trading MP. All those things can be true. Trading MP was a Dak Prescott move. All those things can be true. Some people don't understand that when you're talking about things, that you don't have to have a singular motive in stuff that you do. There are pros and cons. But again, I think this is a pro. I think it made the Cowboys better as a team. And I think this move of Tyler Smith is one of the greatest moves that Jerry Jones has made this season. Get a dude that everybody loves the contract.
I'm always trying to get better every day. But, I think I got a solid basis, No problem. Yeah.
The humility of this kid is incredible. The humility of this kid is incredible, and that is absolutely what you want to see on your team. And again, he's one of these people that when players see him get signed, you can do nothing but be happy. That's all you can do. It's all you can do. I bet you everybody's excited. I bet everybody's excited for this dude. They're loving it. And so it is a great move for the Dallas Cowboys. And so again, standing ovation, the Dallas Cowboys, they got a team. I've been saying this all this offseason. Nobody's been listening because they just want to believe we're the same old team. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying this is the same old team. I'm not buying it. I love the stuff that they're doing. I'm not buying it. The Cowboys are trying to build a team. They chose to build a team, even if fate worked out to where they had to do some of the things that they're doing. Hey, man, sometimes your hand has to be forced. Even God does this to us. Sometimes God will push us into the places that we don't want to be. And the very places that God pushes us into that we don't want to be, the difficult places that we don't want to be the very things that help us to be all that God wants us to be and help us to be successful. So I'm telling you, this thing for Michael with MP, it is going to continue to be a blessing for the Dallas Cowboys. You watch what I tell you. I absolutely love it. And I'm loving where the Cowboys are going with this. And they just need to keep on doing what they're doing. Let's get Brandon Aubrey signed. Brandon Aubrey definitely needs to get signed. I think it will really get this team pumped up. Sign Brandon Aubrey. Maybe we'll sign Brandon Aubrey before the Chicago game. Maybe we sign Brandon Aubrey before the Chicago game. Then we sign Jadeveon Clowney before the Green Bay game. But Jerry got to keep moving. Him in the front office got to keep moving how they're moving. Let's get this doggone dude, Jaden Blue, out here on the field. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care about this dude not being able to read the playbook. I didn't draft this dude for blocking. We can work on all that stuff. I want this dude to do what he is supposed to be doing. I want this dude out here to run the ball. That's what I got him for. I want to see him run the ball. And so the Cowboys, I believe, got to get him out here. All right, guys, let's switch gears. We got to continue to talk about this New York Giants matchup. This is a must-win game for the Cowboys. This is a must-win game. It's a divisional game. And the reason why it's a must-win game is because there is no reason the Giants should beat the Dallas Cowboys. There is no reason. I can't even think of a way. I mean, it would have to be a total collapse. I don't even want to think of the ways they can do it. If the Cowboys go out here and take care of business, this should be a W. And I want the Cowboys to approach this game the way they approached the Philadelphia Eagles game. And this is a big test for Brian Schottenheimer, because I want to see how Brian Schottenheimer responds on a week-to-week basis. You got up for one of the biggest games of the season, the opening game against the world champions on a banner unveiling, Philadelphia on the road, hostile crowd. All of that stuff is great. He was able to get them up. I was so excited about that. But now, can he do something that Mike McCarthy failed at on a regular basis? Winning certain games that you're supposed to win, getting your team up for a team that may absolutely be below them, and getting them to approach a team that is below them like they're a team that is above them. I'm telling you, boy, they couldn't get me to be in there talking to them. Boy, I'd have them so riled up against the Giants, man, they come out and just tear that whole team up. Cowboys need to come out against the Giants even more physical and ferocious than they did against the Eagles. A team like the Giants, the way that you kill a giant is you knock them out. You knock them out early. You knock them out early, and you don't give them no hope of winning. All right, so it looks like, hold on, let me go back. I don't want to do Brian Schottenheimer first. Brian Broaddus. Let's do Pat Schwartz. I'm not really familiar with this person, Pat Schwartz. Okay, hold on a second. Let's see. We did. Okay, yeah. Let's do Paul Schwartz. Let's listen to some of the things that he talks about and see if they matched what we talked about yesterday as we began to talk about what the Cowboys must do to beat the Giants. Let's roll it.
Let's head on out to New York for a Giants preview with our friend Paul Schwartz from the New York Post on your home of the Dallas Cowboys via the DNM
Okay, so he's another New York guy.
Hotline. Good morning, Paul. How are you?
Good morning, gentlemen. How you guys? I imagine you're better than the state of the Giants right now.
Man, when I sit here and talk about the Cowboys and worry and all the drama.
Boy, you know it's bad. This is the second beat writer for the New York Giants. Boy, let me tell you something. If we think this Dallas Cowboy market is tough on their team, Nisi, I think, lives out there somewhere in New York. Nisi, I believe you are in Brooklyn if you're still on here. Nisi, I'm sure you know better than any of us. Boy, if we think the Cowboys are tough, the Cowboys media are tough on the Cowboys, boy, that New York media will eat you alive. That New York media will eat you alive. And I'm telling you, this dude coming out the box, boy. He eating on this team. He eating.
I do look at a team like I said the Colts first. That made me look bad. That makes you all feel even worse because of Daniel Jones' debut. But being a Giant fan to start off the season, it has to suck until Jackson Dart takes over, right?
Well, it wasn't supposed to be this bad before Jackson Dart takes over. I mean, the plan was to let Russell play, let Russell Wilson play. And look, you guys know when there's a first-round pick, the lifeline's not going to be really long. And, I didn't think Russell Wilson was going to start all 17 games. But the big problem was, you guys know, every season you feel like it's a new season. And even if it's kind of the same team, I want to see what it's going to look like, right? Maybe it's going to be a little different. In Dallas, you have a new coach, so that's always interesting.
Yeah.
There's not a new coach with the Giants, but and the problem was it looked exactly the same on offense. It looked like the 18th game of last season instead of the first game of this season. And you know what? Maybe that's a little bit to be expected because 10 of the 11 starters they brought back on offense, and the only one they changed was the quarterback. So maybe they needed to change more of the other starters on offense as well.
Paul, did you actually think Daboll was going to possibly make a quarterback change for week 2? And who did you think they should have started the season with?
I thought Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson is, look, we've all seen, we know what he did in Seattle. We know what he didn't do in Denver. We know what he didn't do in Pittsburgh. He was not their first choice. They wanted to trade for Matt Stafford and pay him $50 million a year. Remember back in the summer when it was like, in the spring, I guess, when it was like, Matt Stafford is available, but he wasn't. And they wanted to sign Aaron Rodgers. And Aaron Rodgers didn't decide, and they couldn't wait, so they signed Russell Wilson. And Russell Wilson brought a certain gravitas, charisma. He is still an incredibly strong leader. The question was, does he have enough in the tank? You know what I mean? And in the spring and summer,
I'm sorry, but I don't know what Paul Schwartz is talking about. I'm not really sure about this thing about Russell Wilson being a very strong leader. Man, they were killing this dude over in Denver. I remember when he did the Subway commercials with the leather jacket. They killed him in Denver. Wanted his own, what was it? He wanted his own private office in the Broncos facility. They were killing him in Denver. Then he came up with that slogan, Broncos, let's ride. They were killing this dude in Denver. I don't know what the Giants were expecting with Russ. Come on, man. Russ ain't been Russ since he left Brian Schottenheimer with Seattle. That thing in Denver was a debacle. It was a total debacle over there in Denver. And I still don't like the way Sean Payton. Brian Daboll is a ticking time bomb. Brian Daboll is a ticking time bomb. I'm telling us, go look at that doggone New York Giants schedule. Them boys might not win a game until, I don't know when. Shoot, we thought 3-14 was bad. Woo! Shoot, that may be a winning season for them. And so, this is why the Cowboys got to be real careful with these Giants. They need to go in there and get on top of these boys early. Do exactly what you did to the Eagles. Score on your first 3 drives. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Beat them boys down to the ground. You get them 21-0, it'll be a game. Promise you it'll be a game. The Giants will quit after 21-0.
Look like he did. He's moving well. He physically, I didn't look at him in training camp and say the guy can't do it anymore. The first game was a total breakdown of offensive line, and it wasn't all his fault. He didn't rise above anything. So I thought they should have started the season with Russell Wilson because there's no need to start Jackson Dart right away. Don't forget, he was not the first or second pick in the draft. He was the 25th pick in the draft. They did not think he was going to be one of those guys like Cam Ward who was ready to play right away. What happened in the summer? He looked better than everyone thought, and he looked better than Dable thought, and Dable clearly loves the guy. So I don't think there's a rush here. It's not like the Giants are going to make in the Super Bowl anytime soon.
Nope.
I did not think that. I would have been stunned if Brian Dable came out the other day and said, we were going with Jackson Dart. I mean,
and if I'm the Giants, I'm sorry. I'm not giving Dayball Jackson Dart. I'm sorry. I'm not giving Dayball Jackson Dart. I'm not giving him Jackson Dart, and then that gives him another out to say, okay, well, maybe we should give him another year. No. The Giants are crazy if they do. If the Giants do, they are not making football moves. All right, Warnock, welcome to the congregation. He said I give Jerry too much credit. Then he says Jerry never chooses anything over his ego. Don't agree. I don't agree. And Warnock, the very fact that Jerry traded Michael Parsons makes the statement you made not true. If Jerry truly had an ego, that he never chooses anything over his ego, well, he never would have let Mike Parsons go. That's what the front office, that's what the players, Warnock. I understand him wanting Kenny Clark, but people are still scratching their heads. Because why would Jerry trade him to Green Bay? You think that's an ego move, Warnock? Explain it to me. Explain it, Warnock. How is it an ego move that you trade Michael Parsons to the team that has been a thorn in your side in 2014, a thorn in your side in 2016, a thorn in your side in 2023, and you telling me Michael Parsons to that team is an ego move? Well, doggone it. If you call that an ego move, we need to redefine what an ego move is. Because an ego move, I'm going to tell you what an ego move is. You want to mess with me? I'm going to trade you to the worst team in the NFL. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. That's an ego move. Warnock, you're misinformed, sir. You're misinformed. I don't know what you're talking about with Amari Cooper. Please get some information before you just start spewing it. Amari Cooper was not ran out of Dallas by Jerry Jones. All right, we had just a little bit of a glitch right there. Let's keep going. But again, Amari Cooper was not a Jerry Jones ego thing. Jerry Jones ego thing. Amari Cooper was a Mike McCarthy ego thing. Mike McCarthy by running this dude Amari Cooper out of town. And that's why when you think about it, Jerry never replaced him for him. All right, let's see. Can y'all hear me now? It looks like we had something to go out. But it looks like we back in this thing. All right, let's y'all give me a thumbs up if we back in, or give me a yes. Catherine Kiss, she said Amari Cooper still hits me hard. And again, that was Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy was not fond of Amari Cooper. Absolutely not. Absolutely not fond of Amari Cooper. Yeah. All right. Looks like we back in. All right. Robert Thomas, thank you. Robert Thomas says, Jerry is finally being smart for the team. Shotty was a great pick. Yep. Again, Robert Thomas, people won't give, the thing that people get mad about me is I can tell you when Jerry did things wrong, but I can also tell you that Jerry is doing some things right. I'm going to give him his credit. Jerry's doing some things right. For all the dumb stuff this dude Jerry did for the last 30 years, man, this dude Jerry is making football moves. I don't care what anyone says. The vibes. Hey, see if you can refresh your browser. It looks like I'm back up to full speed now. Sorry about that, everybody. This doggone internet over here in Dallas sometime be straight tripping. All right, let's get back into Paul Schwartz. I don't want to get off track.
It's just not fair to Russell Wilson at this point. I think they've got the button, their finger on the button with Jackson Dart, but they're not going to press it just yet.
Paul Schwartz, New York Post, joining us here, 105.3 The Fan. All right, so the excitement around Dart Is it real or is it just because he's somebody different? Like, what have you seen that the team has liked about him in the summer? And
wait a minute. This dude, Ron Heller said, fact, Mike McCarthy hated Amari Cooper. Known fact. He hated him because Amari Cooper was questioning him. And we also know Katharina Kiss. I don't think Jerry was too happy with the fact that Amari Cooper wouldn't get the you-know-what. Katharina Kiss, I think you would have wanted brought that to our attention too. Newhouse fam said, and we hated Mike McCarthy. Newhouse fam said we hated Mike McCarthy. Robert Thomas, he's made great moves. I truly believe Jerry finally gets it. Robert Thomas, this man knows he has more. He has more yesterdays than he do tomorrows. That's why. Hey, Jerry is saying, man, I ain't got much time up in this thing. I got to get me one. I got to get me one before I get out of here. I got to get me one. Newhouse fam said I didn't like Jason Garrett. Boy, Newhouse fam, boy, you ain't like none of these coaches. Let's keep this thing rolling.
In training camp.
He really couldn't have had a better spring and summer. I mean, and I'm saying that as a guy who's covered the team for a long time. So I'm not like, oh my gosh, this guy looks great. There's plenty of quarterbacks who don't look great when they come in. He does have a charisma. He's got, from doing some research, the Ole Miss program, he was like a recruiter at Ole Miss. He has this innate ability to get guys on the team to like him and to want to be around him. So I can see that already. And he was really good in training camp. Brian Daboll, for his faults as a head coach, I think he has a great plan for how he develops young quarterbacks. And, it didn't work with Daniel Jones.
Well, let him be a quarterback coach.
He did not have Daniel Jones at the start of this. He's not a miracle worker. He got Daniel Jones, halfway through his NFL experience. But Dart looked really good in training camp, and Daboll used to do some really funky things with him. All of a sudden he'd just say, Jackson, get in the game, get in the play, get in with the first team, do this. Jameis, you come out on this 2-minute drill in practice. Jackson, you go in. One point, it was actually funny. Jameis Winston said, I feel like I'm back in New Orleans with Taysom Hill. I'm getting taken out at the goal line here, even in practice. And he looked really good in the preseason games. I mean, really good. So I think more of him now than I did when they drafted him, and I am very interested in seeing him play. But you know what? If their offensive line plays the way it did in Washington and their 3 running backs total 30 yards, it's not going to matter who the quarterback is. So I think they want to get things set up a little better, maybe get Andrew Thomas back at left tackle, and then at least give the kid a chance.
Paul, you mentioned...
Don't you bring Jackson Dart. I don't even care if it's the Cowboys. I don't think they should bring Jackson Dart in until they kind of figure out what they're going to do with Dayball. I'm sorry, I'm not giving Dayball. If I'm the Giants organization, I'm not giving Dayball no more rope. You mess around and put this dude in and Jackson Dart looks halfway decent, you'll convince yourself to let this dude hang around one more year and say, okay, let's give him an opportunity with Jackson Dart. Don't even give him an opportunity with Jackson Dart. If I'm the Giants, again, I don't follow him like that. But hey, if they want to do it, hey, they love it. I like it. I'm ready for us to put the kibosh on him when we play him this week. Hallelujah said, well, I ain't got much time. I see what you're doing there. Yeah. Newhouse fam said he hates soft coaches. He said he like coaches that yell at their players when they mess up, active on the sidelines and the pass for the game. Brian Schottenheimer definitely does that in practice. He's very controlled during the games, but he's like that in practice. The basement boy said, I've been pounding the table for Shotty, man. I've been driving the bus too. Sean Brown said Dave Campos either didn't like him or yeah, Jerry was trying to find that magic and it didn't work. True said, hopefully Jerry signs Pickens soon. I would. I think they may try to come to him sooner if he's really doing his thing around game 8. I think the Cowboys may definitely try to sign him before the season is up. D said, haven't liked any coach since Jimmy Johnson. And I did like Bill, but he couldn't be Bill here because of Jerry. Yeah, I think the Big Rumbowski may be right that Jerry may have used old Bill Parcells to get that stadium built. Robert Thomas says, I always thought that Garrett had something serious on Jerry, that Jerry didn't want didn't want to have let out. Why else did Jerry keep Garrett for so long? Boy, he loved him some Jason Garrett, man. He absolutely did. Lisa said poor Jackson Darts on the Funky Giants. Woo! Boy. Lisa Worley, you better say it. Woo! Dayball is 18-33. I don't even see how this dude still have a job. Dayball will lose his job mid-season. Book it, D-Block. I said the same thing. Book it. Book it, D-Block. I'm with you. Book it. Mid-season. This dude is gone, if you ask me. Yeah, Dayball gone, D's. Jeanette Rogers, what's going on? All right, let's hear some more of Paul Schwartz.
Right there, the offensive line and Andrew Thomas, who was unable to go in week 1. What is the expectation for his availability this?
Hold on, I'm sorry, man. Y'all got me rolling over here in the chat. New House fam said, Gary, why is you clapping? We losing. Edge of the Rebel Chick, she said, Mr. Clapper. Man, I don't care what you were doing wrong. Man, you didn't never know. If you looked at the sideline, you never know if the Cowboys were winning or losing. You never knew if it was a bad play or a good play. Jason Garrett had the same response to every play.
Weekend, and if Andrew Thomas isn't able to go, what's the plan for the Giants at tackle?
He not going.
Oh, the plan is to play poorly at tackle. with veteran James Hudson, who did not play well in the first game. You know what? Tune in Friday because Andrew Thomas did not practice yesterday. It was a running day for him, and then see how
Andrew Thomas is out, I believe.
To practice today and tomorrow. I would imagine there will be a limited participation in practice, certainly today. So I would say last week I would say, he was listed as doubtful. I would guess this week he'll be listed as questionable. I wouldn't bet on him playing because, he's coming off Liz Frank, and you guys know it's not a receiver or a cornerback or an edge rusher who you can say, you know what, he's ready. He's not ready for full time. Let's play him 14 snaps. We'll put him in on third down. He's the left tackle. You can't put him in on third down. I guess you could have him play 2 series and then have him sit a third. But that's not great for continuity on the offensive line. But, they're kind of desperate. So if he can play, he will. I really don't have a great answer. I would guess right now, if you asked me to lay $100 on it, I would say he won't play. And even if he does play, I can't see him playing 65 snaps.
Paul Schwartz from the New York Post joining us here on 105 through the Fan. Paul, what's the level of concern among Giants fans that some of these blow-ups or some of these issues that have occurred with Malik Neighbors in the first 2 years already might be kind of laying the foundation for a split at some point?
No, none as far as a split. I can't speak for all fans. Fans get worried about,
they're not letting Neighbors go.
What they're having for breakfast in the morning, and if
Carolina Cowboy, what up?
Giants, cup or something because the Giants had a bad game, But And Malik really talked about it. Not really. He talked about it yesterday, and he said, "Well, I have NBF. I have natural bitch face," which is not exactly the phrase, right? I think it's resting bitch phrase resting.
We got it, Paul. We got the B word. We got it.
You got it.
We got it.
You got it. The FCC is not going to jump in here, right?
Our boss
right?
might.
We're okay. But he did say it, and Malik and Dable are kind of similar. They're hotheads in a little bit of a sense, and they're very highly competitive. Look, when you're losing all the time, and he was targeted 12 times and caught 5 passes. That's not 12 targets is great.
Boy, y'all
5
got me
catches
rolling
is
in
not
this
great,
chat.
and so he's frustrated. So I don't think. I've been around him for 1 season and part of this season now. I don't think Malik Neighbors is a problem. I think he is young and he gets frustrated and he knows he's good and the Giants know he's good, and it's incredibly frustrating to him when they don't score a lot of points and the quarterbacks can't get him the ball and he runs a good route and he looks back and the quarterback's on his back because the offensive line can't protect. So I don't think it's any more than that. So I know, look, they lose, and there's a between the first and second quarter, you see the two guys yelling at each other. But Malik said it wasn't get me the ball or anything like that. he knows he's a good player, and the production's not there. So I think it's that. I think it's too early to say that there's a problem there. He's not that kind of a guy.
Paul, were you surprised they brought Dayball back? And what does he really have to do to keep his job?
He ain't keeping it.
Well, some people think he just has to play Jackson Dart, right? And it's a lifeline. I don't think
let him do
goes
it
that far. Look, they went from 9 wins his first year. He was the NFL Coach of the Year. Then it went 6 wins the next year. Daniel Jones got hurt, so that was kind of a, you don't get a pass because it's not like Patrick Mahomes getting hurt, but he was their starting quarterback coming off a decent year. And then so they go from 9 to 6 to 3. So I was not. I thought it was very tenuous, that he would come back. But John Mara has said many times, I can't keep on firing guys after 2 years. I just can't do it. He did it with Ben McAdoo. He did it with Pat Shermer. He did it with Joe Judge. And I can't keep on doing that. So Brian Daboll got a reprieve because of that. Because the owner said, I can't be one of those franchises that just fires guys, even though the record would indicate that you certainly could fire him. He knows that Daboll and Joe Shane, the GM, came together from Buffalo, and they get along great. So there's no friction there. That's good. What does he have to do? You can't win 3 games again. I know people think, they put Jackson Dart and then he gets a get out of jail card. But you know what? Jackson Dart also has to come in and play well, right? And has to win a few games. John Mara can also look at this after the season and say, okay, Jackson started 12 games. He didn't look good. So I'm not going with the theory that I can't bring in somebody else to work with Jackson because that would be,
I think there's some validity, Sean Brown.
I don't want continuity because Jackson didn't look good. There's no guarantee he will come in and play well. So I think they need to win some games. They can't win 3 or 4. The schedule's really hard. I think Jackson Dart has to come in and play well. And John Mara said at the end of last year, I have to be, ask, what do these guys have to do next year to stay? He didn't give a number or playoffs. He said, I have to be in a better mood at this time next year than I am now.
I'm with D Block. D Block, I've already said it. I'm calling it. If this dude ain't gone by game 8, I'm shocked. Game 8. If Dayball ain't gone by game 8, I'm shocked. And if I'm if I'm the Giants, we got to blame the GM for trading Saquon Barkley and the owner. But I think that Dayball got something to do with Daniel Jones. And Daniel Jones, it's only been 1 game, but I got a strange feeling Daniel Jones is about to have an insane season with the Indianapolis Colts, because he looked like a world beater last week. And the more success that dude has, the worse the Giants organization is going to look. Doggone it. Saquon Barkley leads them and gets a Super Bowl. And people talking about the Cowboys, the Giants allowed Saquon Barkley to go to the Philadelphia Eagles. That's crazy work. They literally thought this dude was obviously trash, only for him to go win a Super Bowl. At least they let Daniel Jones. At least Daniel Jones is in Indianapolis, but he may prove to show that they were stupid on that too. And I do agree with you. There's some validity to that, Sean Brown. That dude, Jason Garrett, boy, they had that dude in a bad position because he was trying to be the head coach. And I do believe, I think there's some validity to this dude. This dude was trying to get Wade fired. Carl Alden, let me tell you something. Before I started doing this channel, let me tell you something, Carl. I had boycotted 105.3 The Fan. When they did what they did to Dak Prescott, when that young lady came out and accused Dak Prescott, and they did a hit camp. They did a hit piece on Dak Prescott. And I'm telling you, I believe this is one of the reasons why you'll never hear Dak Prescott on 105.3 The Fan as long as he lives. Nobody finds it to be strange. Shoot, I don't think Dak Prescott will ever give his voice to 105.3 The Fan. They did a hit piece on this dude with no evidence, and then to add injury to insult, or add insult to injury, bought the lawyer on and let the lawyer say anything he wanted to say about Dak Prescott. I said, golly, can you get... Yeah, it was a long time before I listened to him because I was like, this team called. I said, there is no way this radio station likes this team. And couldn't stand Dak Prescott. One of the guys was on there said that he was actually hoping that Dak Prescott was going to get hurt one game so that Jason Garrett could take over. I mean, so that Cooper Rush could take over. I said, what? This dude said this out loud on the radio? Yeah, I agree with you. But again, man, Dayball done, man. This is why as they're talking about this whole thing as he's previewing this game with the Giants. I know why he's not talking about the team as much. There ain't much to preview. The Giants are awful right now. And this is a divisional game. The Cowboys have really got to come out and take this and play this thing like they got to play them boys like they played the Eagles. And like I said, come out, your first 3 drives, I guarantee if you go 21 points, first 3 drives, you score 3 touchdowns, there is no way the Giants can match you if you scored 7 points on your first 3 drives. There is no way.
I would say the best litmus test is at the end of the year, does John Mara and the majority of the fans look at it and say, oh, my God, thank God the season's over? Or do they say, you know what? We weren't great, but I'm kind of looking forward to 2026 with Jackson Dart and what we have. We didn't do great, but I think we see signs here. That's the key. Look, they're not a great team. They're probably not a good team. And what they were last week was a rotten team, and that's alarming. So this week against a team they never beat, and I'm sure if we go on for another half hour here, which we won't, you'll tell me all the reasons why the Cowboys are beatable, right? But nobody is beatable to the Giants if they play like they did last week.
Paul, you mentioned there that you don't feel like the Giants are a great team, and they may not even be a good team. But if the Giants were to come in here and win this game on Sunday against the Cowboys, what is it you think that what does that look like? Like, how do you think they're doing that? Is that just feeding Malik Neighbors a ton? Is that Tyrone Tracy gets the ball and is running wild on them? How do the Giants have success to the point that they come in here and upset Dallas?
Yeah, I always like that question because it's like, okay, force me to think about how they can win because I spend a lot of time figuring out how they're going to lose, because they don't look good. No, that's good. I would say number one on defense is they stopped the run. They gave up 220 rushing yards last. You guys know the Commanders have a very intricate running scheme, and they have Jaden Daniels, who just is almost impossible to corral. So I won't give them a pass because they weren't a good run defense last year. But I would say if they can make Dak throw the ball, they have good pass rushers. You know what I mean? Abdul Carter is not Micah Parsons, but I think he's the closest thing in the league that can be Micah Parsons and eventually be a Parsons type player. He's the prototype of that. And he only got, half the snaps last week and looked pretty good. Brian Burns had 2 sacks. Kayvon Thibodeau had a sack against a guy that's very difficult to sack. So if they can earn the right to rush the passer, I think they will rush the passer. I think they have guys who can do that. And I think offensively, they just have to run the ball a little bit. They're not a great running team. Cam Scatterbo, the rookie, everyone's very excited about him. He's a banger. He got hit behind the line of scrimmage almost every time. So, they have to run the ball. Russell Wilson can do play action stuff, and he had none of that last week because there was no action to play. There's no threat of a run. So, I see the Cowboys are going to be down a cornerback. It looks like, Darius Slayton had no catches last week. I mean, there's a recipe for victory for the Giants. But, every time I go in that building, other than, the first time with Eli Manning when he signed the wall, it's kind of a disaster. So, to me, Dak Prescott's a Hall of Famer because he's beaten the Giants 13 straight times. And almost every time I see him play the Giants, he looks great.
Paul, Bobby's a huge fan of Cam Scatterbo.
Nope, not. I'm a Texas fan.
He loves him. Does he? But truthfully, how much of his game is, I don't want to say gimmick, but is just lowering his head and trying to drive through a defensive player versus make a real impact?
Well, that's I saw. Not going to fly in the NFL. You know what I mean? I mean, it's funny because you stand and I talk to Cam Scatterbo, and I'm a little taller than him. You know what? I'm not tall. So, he's now he's I think a little more powerful than me, and I'm not powerful, so that's okay. But look, he's a really good pass catcher. You know what I mean? And he looked good in the summer doing that, so they need to incorporate that. Tyrone Tracy, the starting running back, is also a good pass catcher. He was a wide receiver before he was a running back. So I don't know yet. I don't know about Cam Scatterbo. Yeah, I mean, I think he'll be able to bounce off tackles in the NFL, but he's shiftiness to him. But yeah, I mean, lowering his head is not going to work. I can't stress enough how last week was so dysfunctional, and that's why Giants fans, just could not, they were pulling their hair out because, I mean, the Commanders won 14 games last year, right? 2 in the regular season and 2 in the playoffs. The Giants won 3. I mean, these teams are not comparable. So to have the Giants lose opening day on the road in Washington is not a disaster. Yeah. But to score 6 points and be in the red zone and look like, the goal line is a force field they can't penetrate is an issue. I mean, if they lost 27-17 and all right, they scored a couple of touchdowns, and they didn't look great. Maybe they had a turnover. But, there's something. I mean, there's literally nothing on offense to build on. Nothing. Not Russ, not the running game, not the passing game, not the protection. So that's why everyone was like, I can't believe this. It's worse than it was last year, and we were sold a bill of goods that it will be better. So
okay, Catherine Kiss, see if you can refresh your browser and then give me another
in the division.
Give me some more feedback.
Well, I'm not going to say that. I mean, let fans say that. I think they have done some good things in the draft. They do not have the worst ownership in the division.
D-Block, let me go ahead. Now, you already know. I'm going to tell you the truth on Jerry Jones. Man, let me tell you something. D-Block, Jerry Jones was complicit. Jerry Jones was complicit in the sabotage. Okay, you may be talking about either Jason Garrett, but I'm going to say you're right on both accounts. Jerry Jones was complicit in allowing Jason Garrett to sabotage Phillips. Jerry Jones was complicit in allowing 105.3 The Fan to put the hit piece on Dak Prescott. Anybody remember what was going on with Dak Prescott around that time? Contract was what I mean. It's like they were trying every tactic to get Dak Prescott to take a very team-friendly deal. And I think because of some of this stuff that happened is the very reason why Dak Prescott wound up not giving him a team-friendly deal. It was the hit piece on 105.3 The Fan. Even though, to be fair, D-Block, if this is what we're talking about, to be fair, Dak Prescott did have Jerry Jones' lawyer. And I'm telling you now, Jerry Jones' lawyer must be real good because he's been in a few scandals himself where he was supposed to be in court in August and nobody heard about it. So Jerry did, it seems like, hook him up with his lawyer. But I do believe that Jerry I was saying that Jerry should have moved away from 105.3 when they did that hit piece. But I think Jerry allowed it, and I agree with you if you're talking about that too. All right, let's finish Paul Schwartz. It's only another couple of minutes, and I'm just telling you straight up, if you're listening to Paul Schwartz, the reason why he didn't talk a lot of football, similar to Leonard from yesterday, Schwartz don't believe there's no way possible. He don't believe there's no way possible the Giants are going to beat the Cowboys. But I am going to give you the keys to victory for the New York Giants when we get to our New York Giants portion after we listen to Brian Broaddus.
Ownership? No, the Giants have won 2 Super Bowls since the Cowboys have won a Super Bowl. I'm not going to go ownership by ownership here. The Commanders' ownership is new. No, I don't think John Mara is a bad owner at all. At all. I think he's lost his way a little bit and maybe hired some wrong people. And, we could go down a litany of things that maybe he has done wrong football-wise. But no, I think he is his heart's in the right place. I think his head often is in the right place. And, maybe
Newhouse film, tell us what you really mean.
When he's, involved in the hiring process and things like that. But no, I don't think he's a terrible owner. I think they're in a very bad rut here, and it's a franchise that is in, wouldn't call it disarray. They just they need to get out of this rut. And put it this way, I don't think their roster is terrible. I don't think it's terrible. I said before the season, this is not a roster that should win 3 or 4 games. It's not. The defensive personnel is not bad. It's not. It's actually quite okay, or maybe even good if you go man to man, down the list. It really is not. I thought they overrated their offensive line, and I'm still concerned about that, especially on the interior. They like their players better than I like their players, and we'll see who's going to come out right in that. I thought Russell Wilson had something left in the tank, not a lot, because I'm not blind to what he's done the last few years. And last week was a disaster on all fronts on offense. So, but no, I don't. I don't need to debate here, but I still don't understand why getting rid of Micah Parsons is a good thing for the franchise. I just don't understand it. I don't understand it. And you know what? I'm sure the Giants offensive lineman,
So let me show you how this guy right here, Paul Schwartz. Let me show you why I'm not buying what he's saying. Now, let me say this. Let me preface this with this. Some people don't understand this issue with MP. MP, it had nothing to do with his play on the field as much as it was about him off the field. Some people will never understand that. Tolerance versus talent. Tolerance versus talent versus what have you achieved with him. Now, I'm going to tell you why I'm not buying Paul Schwartz. Listen to what he says in the same sentence. Listen to this.
So, but no, I don't, I don't need to debate here, but I still don't understand why getting rid of Micah Parsons is a good thing.
Wait a minute, hold on.
I like their players better than I like their players. And, we'll see who's going to come out right in that. I thought Russell Wilson had something left in the tank.
You got to make sure you listen to people. Somebody tell me in the chat, who thought Russell Wilson had something left in the tank? Who? Who thought Russell Wilson had something left in the tank? I don't know. It depends on what you say is in the tank. But if you're talking about gasoline in the tank that was going to make the vehicle go, stop it. You had to be bonkers. What team in their right mind would bring Russell Wilson in as a starter? Man, if I'm Brian Daboll, I'd have just told the GM, right, hey, man, fire me now. Because if you bringing in Russell Wilson, you don't want to win. Russell Wilson fell off a cliff after he left Brian Schottenheimer in Seattle. This dude fell off a cliff. He was not good in Denver. He was not good in Denver. I'm telling us he was not good. Anybody that watched him, there's no way you can say this dude was good in Denver. He was okay in Pittsburgh. Problem is they were too impatient with Justin Fields. Pittsburgh should have kept Justin Fields. They were too impatient. Russell was bad in Pittsburgh too. How in the world does somebody think he had something? This is why when I hear a dude say in the same sentence, I thought Russell Wilson had something left in the tank, and I don't see how the Cowboys got better without Micah Parsons, I'm not listening to you. Because your evaluation of talent, I got a question. And your evaluation of teams, I have to question. This dude said, have y'all been listening to Paul Schwartz? Do y'all realize that Paul Schwartz said Russell Wilson is a great leader? Tell me again. Tell me what's the proof. They hated this man in Denver. This man stepped into Denver and said, I want a personal office. Beast mode from the Seattle Seahawks. It's crazy how the Seattle Seahawks players talked about Russell Wilson after he was no longer on the team and they were no longer with Seattle. They was talking about how crazy and egotistical this dude is. This dude, Russell Wilson, is an egomaniac. Doesn't mean he's not a good father, because he seems to be a great father. He's a great husband. He seems to be a great husband. But when you start talking about leaders of a franchise, This dude wasn't even leading the Seattle Seahawks during the Super Bowl run. This dude was being carried by a great defense. Doesn't mean he didn't do some good things. Don't mean he didn't do some great things. These dudes all talked about how Russell was an egomaniac. Didn't even have this dude's phone number. Players on the team couldn't even have this dude's phone number. What is this dude talking about? Great leader. This dude don't understand. Talent is not just, it's not about when you're talking about a team. It's not just what's happening on the field. It's what's happening in the locker room. It is what you're doing in your spare time. And Russell Wilson, there are no signs that Russell Wilson has been a great leader in this league. Stop it. Stop the madness. This dude is straight capping, man. Stop the cap. This is crazy. This is crazy mad work. And then in the same, hey man, get you some business. Paul Schwartz, get you some business. We don't need you worried about Dallas. Get you some business. We got about 3 or 4 years to see if the Cowboys are going to be better and if the Packers are going to be better. Both of them are better without each other. Get you some business, bro. Worry about that team you cover over in New York.
Because I'm not blind to what he's done the last few years. And, last week was a disaster on all fronts on offense. So, but no, I don't, once, but they don't have to play Micah twice.
Paul, we love having you on every year. Thank you so much. We appreciate the time. Try to enjoy the game and the season.
Thanks, guys. Always a pleasure. Take care.
I'm definitely going to have to get me a boo button next. I'm going to have to get me a boo button because some of this stuff be straight trash. Paul Schwartz. This lets you know that Paul Schwartz is basically saying, family, Paul Schwartz is basically telling us that there is absolutely, he doesn't feel, this dude is saying, he don't see a way. This is exactly what he's saying. He is saying he don't see a way that the Giants can beat the Cowboys. I agree. It'll have to be a total collapse, family. It'll have to be a total collapse on the Cowboys' part. It is the only way that they can beat the Cowboys. But I wrote down some keys to the Giants. I'm going to talk about that when we get to our game breakdown. I'm also going to try to fit Matty Dubs in here somewhere. I'll fit it into our game breakdown. Matty Dubs talked about the Cowboys defense. I want us to see what he's talking about. All right, let's get to the Brian Broaddus breakdown of the Dallas Cowboys. I'm going to read some of your chats in a super chat. Let me see here. Robert Simmons up in this thing. What up with you, Robert Simmons? Brian Schottenheimer made Russell Wilson. Yes, sir. Dude, hey. Robert Simmons, there should have been a percentage in that Denver Broncos contract figured in for Brian Schottenheimer. There definitely should have been a percentage figured in. Because I'm telling you, Brian Schottenheimer gave this man 3 of the best years he's had in his career. And I'm telling us, he should have put a percentage in that contract to give Brian Schottenheimer. And this is why I'm so excited with Brian Schottenheimer with Dak Prescott. Brian Schottenheimer, one of the things I love about Brian Schottenheimer, he is not afraid to change up what he does. He is not afraid to put in wrinkles that are working in the league. He's not afraid to look at what other teams are doing and saying, hey, that's working, let me do it too. I absolutely love the kind of coach that Brian Schottenheimer is. Chris Acade, what up? He said, bro, we can't beat the Giants. Boy, we don't beat the Giants, man. I ain't gonna even speak like that because I'm gonna tell you, boy, we should beat them boys down. D Block, you took the words right out of my mouth. D Block said, gee, we're gonna have to beat the Giants down. Yeah, we do. We do. I believe it too, D Block. I believe they gotta come out like they came out against the Eagles. I believe you gotta get them boys down. If you can go 3 touchdowns in a row like you did on the Eagles, it's over. Niecy said, I'm in Jersey, and that New York media shows no mercy. Hey, Niecy, tell them, Niecy, if we think the Cowboys media is bad, them boys over in New York, from what my understanding is, they destroy them New York teams. They destroy them New York teams. So I'm telling us. All right, let's see. All right, let me catch up. The big Rumbowski said Jerry was due to be in court because while well into his 60s of his love for H-Town. Boy, big Rumbowski, boy, you gotta quit. Rumbowski said Jerry was due to be in court because while he is well into his 60s of his love for the H-Town strippers. Boy, Jerry be pulling up, man. I'm telling you. One thing they didn't talk about in that Netflix, they didn't talk about in that Netflix special. Y'all better stop playing. Shoot, that doggone Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones was in that White House too. Boy, y'all better stop playing. Boy, that man Jerry Jones is wild, boy. Jerry Jones. Anybody in Dallas, anybody in this DFW area, man, we know about Harry Hines. Boy, they got pictures of Jerry Jones pulling up over even in Harry. It wasn't Harry Hines, Harry. Boy, I love me some Jerry Jones, but that Jerry Jones, boy, Jerry Jones got some skeletons in that closet, boy. Jerry got some skeletons in that closet for sure. Ron Hanna, he said, I remember that, G. I don't listen to 105.3 The Fan. To me, they are clear Cowboy haters that thrive on the team's controversy. Ron Hanna, let me tell you something. I've realized this about a lot of Cowboys. I don't want to talk about, I'm not even going to say the title. There are a lot of people, I'm going to put it like this. There are a lot of people that cover the Cowboys. They have thrived off of the Cowboys' misery. Man, when I see some of the comments by certain people, this is one of the reasons why I'm just telling y'all the way I am. I'm just going to be very careful how I move. I don't deal in negativity. I can deal with the truth. I don't deal with negativity, though. You can tell the truth without always trying to make people hate the team. I mean, I'm telling you, there are people out there, they want people to like them more than the team. And everything the team does, they're going to always tell you that it's not good. You watch what I tell you. There'll be people tonight, tomorrow, this week. They'll be telling you, oh, what Jerry did, it's not good. He did it because of this. He did it because of that. Could it not be that Ty Smith is just a great player? I had to challenge Ed Water today. I'm nobody in the eyes of this thing of Ed Water. Very respectful to Ed Water. I like Ed Water's work. But I'm telling you, I like Ed Water, but Ed Water is a guy who this dude has made a living in some respects of being negative about the Dallas Cowboys. I like Ed Water. But he always seems to put a negative connotation on everything the Cowboys do. And he ain't the only one. I say Ed Water because I know Ed Water can take it. I like Ed Water. I follow Ed Water. I like a lot of things he stands for. But these people are so used to not liking the Cowboys. It is big business. It is big business. Man, let me tell you something. There are entire channels out there dedicated to the hatred of the Dallas Cowboys. And 105.3 The Fan, Bobby Belt is the one on there who truly likes. I think Bobby Belt is the one on there that truly likes the Cowboys. The rest, I question. I question some of the rest of them. Katharina Kiss, you better stop telling the truth. Katharina Kiss, I believe MP didn't like the new culture in the locker room. And Katharina Kiss, can I add this to it? And I don't think the new culture liked him either. That's why it was unanimous. Brandon Cup, boy, you is clouded up in here. This dude, Brandon Cup, said Russell Wilson is below E. Man, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. Anybody who thought Russell Wilson, this dude said that he thought that Russ had some. Boy, Newhouse fans said Russ don't even have fuse left in the tank. Boy, you better tell the truth. Boy, you better tell the truth. D said, unpopular opinion. I don't think it is an unpopular opinion, D's. How can it be unpopular when it's a very popular opinion? D said you can be a Cowboy fan and not like Dak or don't think he deserves to be the highest player in the NFL. D's, explain to me how that's an unpopular opinion. Explain it to me. D's, can you explain that to me? How is that an unpopular opinion, D's, when that's a very popular opinion? That's a very popular opinion. I don't get mad at people's opinion because everybody's entitled to their opinion. I'll tell you this, D's. I don't think you nor me, we have the right to say it, but the reality is we don't really have the right to say it, if you get what I'm saying. D's, let me tell you something. If somebody's willing to pay you, if they want to pay you $1 million, if they want to pay you $1 million for just writing boy on a piece of paper, if they want to pay you $1 million to do that, D's, I am not going to come behind you and say, that ain't worth $1 million. They crazy for paying D's $1 million for writing boy on a sheet of paper. D's and anybody else, you're worth whatever they're willing to pay you. You're worth whatever they're willing to pay you, D's. And let's stop acting like Dak Prescott is a mid quarterback. Dak Prescott has earned every penny he's gotten in this league. Dak Prescott has worked hard to get to where he is in this league. And whether people understand what I'm telling them or not, Troy Aikman said it, and I said it before Troy Aikman. Dak Prescott was going to be the highest paid quarterback in this league, whether it was with the Cowboys or not, because I'm telling you that people understand something about Dak Prescott that people who are following this franchise don't appreciate. There are people in this league who know Dak one of them. I promise you they'll tell you that. Adam Schefter had already said that when Dak Prescott, they were talking all this lip about Dak Prescott. Let me tell you something. You don't become the highest paid quarterback in the league unless Todd France can come to Jerry Jones and say, hey, you either sign him or somebody else will. These are the teams that we have ready to sign Dak Prescott. Man, I'm telling you, you're rarely going to hear me say that somebody ain't worth a certain amount of money. I don't believe in doing that. Whatever somebody's willing to pay you, that's what you're worth. You're worth it. If somebody's willing to pay you, you're worth it. Even Russell Wilson. As crazy as it is to me, I can say Russell Wilson isn't worth the money, but he must be worth the money they paid him. He must be worth the money. And in the grand scheme of things, our opinion don't matter. Our opinion don't matter. But I'll tell you this, Deez, and let me go a little bit further. You cannot like Dak Prescott and be a fan of the team. I think it's crazy not to like Dak Prescott and be a fan of the team. Explain to me again, how do you like a team and you don't like a quarterback that's winning? How do you don't like that team? Because as you watch that team, how do you enjoy watching that team? Because when you're watching that team, all you have is resentment. How do you enjoy that? I'm not watching a team. I'm not watching a team that I don't like the quarterback. And the reason why I'm not watching that team is because that quarterback is going to be my ticket to winning on that team. Man, I've been here since the Quincy Carter days. I never thought Quincy Carter. All these quarterbacks in between Tony Romo and Troy Aikman. I never thought those quarterbacks were anything near Dak Prescott. But I tell you this, I liked them. They're the Cowboys quarterback because I liked them. I did. I liked them because players that come to a team, they're a part of the team, and I like them. I don't have to think. I don't know how else to do it because I just don't know how do you enjoy. I mean, I think what they said earlier about the New York Football Giants. Shoot, how do you be a Giants fan right now? Watching Russell Wilson, man, that's tough stuff. But I can tell you what happens. You become just like that beat writer. You find a way to convince yourself that you like that quarterback. There's something left in the tank, and you cheer for that quarterback, and you don't talk negative about him. Part of the team. It is what it is. But I can tell you this. I don't too much try to say what people are not worth. Because there's somebody out there that may be saying that I'm not worth what I'm worth, and you're not worth whatever somebody say you worth. But at the end of the day, man, you're worth whatever somebody's willing to pay you. And even then, if somebody's willing to underpay you, well, then don't devalue yourself. You always carry yourself like you are worth more. Because I always tell people, you can't put a price on me. You can't put a price on me. I'm not saying that out of arrogance, but you can't put a price on me. The one thing I do better than anybody is be me. And I don't let nobody devalue me, and I don't let people put a price on me. So Dak Prescott is willing to whatever Jerry is willing to pay him. Highest paid quarterback. I love it. All right, let's go to Brian Broaddus. Brian Broaddus is going to give us another breakdown. Maybe this one will be a little bit better than Paul Schwartz. Paul Schwartz basically said he don't see any hope. He gave a couple of keys. I wrote them down, and I added a couple to him. Let's see what Brian Broaddus says in his game breakdown of the New York Giants. What will be the keys to the Cowboys and the Giants winning? Let's check it out.
Is an interesting watch just because of the young players they have. And I don't know what direction they're going to go with their secondary. And that's kind of why I was asking Pat about that because of the way they were playing their corners. I asked somebody in the Giants about this real quick because Deontay Banks, the first-round pick from Maryland.
Yep.
He was drafted in the first round of the 2023 draft. I was wondering, watching tape, where he was. And he was listed as a starter, and then I didn't see him. And Cordell Flott was playing in his place, and I was going, man, I wonder where Banks is. I was wondering he's hurt. And I asked my guy from the Giants. He said, no, man, they had a competition.
And Flott beat him out? Gosh, CD, I think, toasted Flott last year when he had to come in. That's
kind of where I was thinking. That's why I asked the question about the corners and how they were playing and stuff. And Adebo, Paulson Adebo, we've seen him before with the Saints. And he's now the corner in with the Giants. And he traveled with Terry McLaurin in that game pretty extensively. And then they tried to play the other side with Flott. And Drew Phillips is their nickel guy.
Is that the Stanford kid?
Which one? Adebo Paulson?
Phillips.
Kentucky,
yeah, okay. There was two tiny corners that we had 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And Drew Phillips was the Kentucky kid.
Yeah, third-round pick out of Kentucky is where he was. So he's your nickel. So I'm trying to figure this thing out and how they're going to potentially play because they kind of were rotating some guys in and out of the lineups. But if I'm the Cowboys, Dawson, I'm going after Flott in this one. And I honestly, I don't know why. I mean, they're telling he beat the guy out, but man, that seems like to me that's a green light special right there.
I love it
with the way that he was playing. And
now, do you think Adebo's good? Do you avoid Adebo?
I think he's very competitive in the way that he plays. He's very the way he goes about. He's going to drive on more balls. He's going to be around the ball. He's going to defend the ball better. Excuse me.
I think he lacks the deep speed.
Yeah, the deep speed's a problem.
He doesn't run well.
Cough there for a second.
Pickens, I think, could get him down the field.
Yeah, that's the thing. And Pat was right. McLaurin got him one time too, carrying him down the sidelines, and it should have been a touchdown. And Daniels overthrew the pass, but his around the line of scrimmage, his ability to stay with as far as like initially, and then there comes to be a little bit of separation. But I think there's more separation with Flott in the way that he plays, especially when routes go to the inside. That's my big thing. If you follow me for a while, if a corner could carry a receiver inside and make plays and not have separation, but with this guy, there's separation there. So that secondary could be under siege a little bit there. Now, I kind of feel like you should try and run the ball at this team. And I'm not saying run the ball specifically, run inside. But I think Dallas is equipped to handle Dexter Lawrence. Pat was right about that. He was doubled the majority of this game. And what makes him hard to block, it's not the size. It's how close he plays to the ball. And when he gets right up on the line of scrimmage and he gets a really wide base, and he doesn't give you any ability to fire into him to get movement. I mean, when you watch blockers, and I'm just over the years, I'm like, what makes this guy so tough? Yeah, he's strong, but he plays so tight to the line of scrimmage, you can't come off the ball and get into him and get any momentum to push him. And that's why he gets so many double teams, is because he's able just to kind of anchor down there, and he stalemates blockers, and then they try and push on him, and he's really not going anywhere. And that's because he doesn't play off the ball. He's just right there. I mean, he literally is breathing the same air as the center when you watch him play. So this will be a tough one.
Does he have help inside with other big guys? Nunez, Roaches, or Robertson, Harris?
Yeah, the thing with Nunez, Roaches, more of a kind of a 3 technique guy.
Kind of a burnout.
Yeah, kind of not like the big, they've had big guys up there before.
Yeah.
Who's the guy the Cowboys had? I can't remember.
Hankins.
Hankins, but
they had Jonathan Hankins, and then
somebody else.
Gosh, they had another.
I know, and I'm drawing a blank on that. I hate.
There's another H I want to say. I'll find that. I'm going to figure this out.
But see, that's the thing about it is that this Lawrence, he's just so hard to move because I just don't think he gives you much of a space at all. He doesn't give you any ability to fire into him and push.
So you were saying you don't run in them up the middle?
I would say I would the double teams might be okay on him to run off those, but he's not going to get what you don't want him to do is to penetrate and then to cause, because Dallas seems to now be interested in pulling guys and trying to trap and lead and counters and stuff.
Got a big run off that, didn't they?
Some midline stuff, yeah. What was really interesting was, and this was, I didn't know this. When you're watching the tape, you kind of see it, but I didn't know this, that when you're in a situation, Dallas in this game, and it was just a metric that I looked at. I'm like, okay, Dallas did what? Dallas had success in the shotgun running the football, and what they did was they had 9 designed runs out of shotgun formations that resulted in 84 yards and a score in week 1 against Philadelphia. That was 9.3 yards a carry on designed shotgun runs. Okay, here's the kicker for you. The matchup. The Giants defense surrendered 111 yards and a touchdown across 15 designed runs out of the shotgun against the Commanders. So that was the most such yards allowed by any team's defense in week 1 off design runs. So Cowboys had some success against the Eagles. We're kind of like going, oh, well, maybe they shouldn't try and run the ball. And all of a sudden they're in the shotgun and running the football. So
sounds like a game where you try to run it 30, 40 times.
I think this is a game where you absolutely try and run it. And where I would run it is I would try and go after these on these edges is what I would do. I'm not interested in all of a sudden just keep dropping back.
No. That's how you could lose.
Yeah, and dropping back and throwing the ball and then letting Burns and Carter and Thibodeau rush the passer.
How do you think they're going to do against Steele and Guyton? Just tally up 10 pressures?
It's going to be I think to me it's the one you need to worry about, I think, more than any other is probably going to be Steele in this one. Because of Thibodeau to that side. Thibodeau has done a lot better as a pass rusher than he has in his career. There's been times where he's kind of like been labeled as man, what's wrong with this guy? High draft pick, just hadn't done anything. But he's kind of figured out some things as a pass rusher here. And
where's Burns coming from? Because I think he had 2 sacks against Washington.
Burns is they flip sides. So what happens is you could get him playing left and right. And then what they were doing with Carter, they were bringing Carter in on third down. Well, now with some of the problems that they're having with their linebacking core, this Darius Marisal. He was
linebacker.
Yeah,
dude, he was a struggle bus.
He was really struggling in that game.
Losing Micah McFadden for them is huge in the run game and the pass game.
And you're absolutely right about both. You're absolutely right about that both. So, like I say, Pat was talking about the possibility of using Abdul Carter as an off-ball linebacker. Well, they had some snaps where Carter was playing off-ball, and they also had some snaps where Burns was playing off-ball linebacker.
That's advantage Cowboys. If you're telling me that Brian Burns and Abdul Carter are not going to be getting after the quarterback on any particular play, I'll take my chances.
I wonder if they're gonna play him off-ball, but attack him like what the Cowboys used to do with Mike.
Just blitzing them.
Yeah.
I mean, you do that.
Yeah. So to me, this is the strength of this Giant defense, in my opinion, is those pass rushers. The thing that's a little bit of a liability is their secondary. And me personally, I would run at their edges more so than I would run inside. Is how I would try and play this game this week.
After looking at both of them, what's your early prediction if we wanted to go a day early? Do you think the Cowboys cover that 4.5?
I think the Cowboys will be okay in this game. I do. As long as Russell Wilson's starting for the Giants in this game. Now, if they go to Jackson Dart, I agree again with Pat. I think that might give them a little lift.
You think that's a win now move?
I think that's a win now move because they think the ball will go down the field. I don't think Russell Wilson wants to throw the ball in the middle of the field, and that's where to me where Neighbors and Robinson and those guys kind of make some plays. But I think Dallas, if in fact that Cordell Flott is playing as one of the starting corners, that's the guy I try and attack. And actually, I think he's worse than what. Well, I take that back. I don't think he was as worse as what you had last week
with Adoree Jackson.
He's not good, but it's very similar. It's very, very similar to how things need to be played.
G-Men, one of the worst 5 teams in the league.
I think so.
Oh yeah,
I think so.
I think the Cowboys are going to crush them.
Do you really?
Yeah, I mean, I think that they have matchups that I think are beneficial to the Cowboys' offense across the board. Like, I don't think they're going to be able to cover Lamb and Pickens. And then you don't even factor in what Ferguson possibly
can you protect,
could do.
Though? That's the thing about it is.
I think they can protect long enough, yeah. I think they'll be okay.
I was reading a fantasy preview, and they love Pickens against, it's a Debo, Paulson Adebo.
Yeah.
Debo can't run downfield.
That's the problem with him. Can I say something real quick here?
Yeah.
Just real quick in this thing? This is something that I pulled that I hate to nerd out on you, but I did it for my show this morning. I brought this up. The matchup they say to watch is Cowboys wide receivers versus off coverage.
Mm-hmm.
And I brought this up because they said this, and tell me if you guys realize this. The Cowboys wide receiver recorded the 5th lowest catch rate, 61%, and an average of league low of 6.4 yards per target when facing off coverage. That's 5 or more yards of cushion last season. Notably, CeeDee Lamb averaged 1.6 yards per route when facing off coverage. That was his lowest mark in a season since his rookie year of 2020, where he was at 1.5. Acquisition on this is interesting. The offseason acquisition of George Pickens' career averaged a career high in yards per target, 9.1, and yards per route, 2.3 versus off coverage in 2024. He's a better off coverage wide receiver than Lamb. I kind of felt like that Lamb. I didn't feel like that his number was that low.
Mm-mm.
But here's the matchup. The Giants' defense aligned with their cornerbacks in off coverage on 69% of the snaps last season. That's the 4th highest rate in the NFL. if you're the Giants, would you consider pressing these Cowboy wide receivers, and especially, would you consider playing off coverage and seeing to make sure you take care of Lamb in this game?
Yeah, I think they got to try and do what the Cowboys did last week with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith play more zone.
Yeah, so if that's the case, then maybe this is a game for George Pickens. If there's a lot of off coverage,
I can definitely see it.
All right. I like some of that analysis from Brian Broaddus. And I do think that when you start talking about this game, the matchup in this game, in the grand scheme of things, there is only one place. There is only one place that the Giants have a chance. I want to pull up the box score from the Giants versus the Commanders from last week. I'm going to tell you here, there's only one opportunity. I really think there's only one opportunity for the Giants to beat the Cowboys. Let's pull this up. I do think there's only one opportunity here for them to beat the Cowboys, and I think they're going to have a hard time doing it, and I'm going to show you why. But in the grand scheme of things, this was the New York Giants last week. Russell Wilson was 17. Let's kind of go to the player stats. Russell Wilson threw the ball 37 times. There is no way. There is no way. If they throw this ball 37 times, let me see how many sacks the Commanders had last week. The Washington Commanders only had 2 sacks. I promise y'all, if Russell Wilson throws the ball 37 times against the Cowboys will have no less than 4 or 5 sacks. There's no way. There is absolutely no way. A lot of people keep talking about the Washington Commanders. The Washington Commanders are a very no-name defense. And it really showed up against the Green Bay Packers. And a lot of people may not realize it. Tell me the weapons of the Green Bay Packers again. Tell me the weapons. Jordan Love, Josh Jacobs. Who is their really premier? The Kraft, the tight end, looked extremely good. But again, tell me who is the absolute premier? Who is the premier wide receiver for the Green Bay Packers? The Cowboys are a different type of animal. And so when you start looking at the New York Giants, last week they had a total of 231 yards, 157 yards passing, 74 yards running, 3.7 yards per play. Let me tell you something. I think we're going to find out real fast. The Cowboys defense is better than the Washington Commanders. I'm telling y'all, when you got dominant defensive tackle play, that is the key to finishing off teams. These boys were 4 for 16 on 3rd down against the Washington Commanders. What in the world will they be against the Dallas Cowboys? What in the world will they be? 62 plays, 2 sacks allowed. I promise you, there is no way Russell Wilson drops back 37 times on the Cowboys. There's no way. There's absolutely no way. There's absolutely no way they'll have 30 minutes time of possession. There is absolutely no way. No way. If the Cowboys come out the way they came out against the Eagles, these numbers, if you thought these numbers were bad, it's going to be worse against the Cowboys. Russell Wilson, 17 to 37. Russell Wilson was 17 to 37. Jaden Daniels was 19 to 30 for 233 yards and 1 touchdown. He had some drops from what my understanding is. Some of his wide receivers had some drops too. And when you look at the Dallas Cowboys wide receiving core, if we think that Jaden Daniels was able to do this, what in the world are the Cowboys going to do? Look at the rushing. Jaden Daniels, 11 for 68. Jacoby Krosky, 10 for 82. They were nowhere to be found against the Green Bay Packers. Austin Eckler, Jeremy Nichols, Debo Samuel. They kind of ran it up on him a little bit in the rushing department. They were able to run the New York Giants again. When Debo Samuel gets 7 for 77, I'm just really scratching my head on that. Again, looked pretty much terrible. Looked terrible against Green Bay. Noah Brown, your third wide receiver. I'm sorry. I can't even take you serious. Noah Brown was 2 for 27. But overall, I'm just telling us, the Commanders are fool's gold. And these people are backtracking, trying to figure out ways to say that the Washington Commanders are really good, but the Washington Commanders are not good. They're actually not as good as people say they are, and they beat the Giants 21-6. And the Cowboys have got to do, to me, the Cowboys have got to do even more than what the Giants did. The Commanders did. The Commanders got up on them 14-3. I think the Cowboys need to do exactly what they did to the Philadelphia Eagles. The Cowboys need to score 7 points, 14 points, and I believe they need to get up about 21 on these boys in the first half. Come out in the third quarter, maybe score one more touchdown, get up 28-3 or 10 or whatever it is, and the game is pretty much over. The game is pretty much over. So I want to give some keys just based off what we heard and give some keys based on what I know about the New York Giants. Nisi says this. She said the New York media had a field day with OBJ when he was having his meltdowns. The great catch went out the window. Man, I'm telling you, boy, we think this Dallas media is bad. The New York media be tearing their teams up. Uh-oh. Sean Brown said Jadeveon Clowney signed with the Eagles. Wow. Let's look at this real quick. Yep. Jadeveon Clowney, if this is true, not doubting you, let me see. No surprise. Jadeveon Clowney signed with the Eagles. So that's the end of that. At least that's what they're saying. Let me see. I don't trust that one right there. Okay, I'm not going to believe this one right here. Yeah, we've seen this one before, Sean Brown. If this is where we're getting this report from, these are the same people that lied the last time. This TWSN, no, this I wouldn't believe it. And the reason why I don't believe it, look at this. If this is what you're going by, look at this. It says Jadeveon Clowney signed with the Eagles yesterday. I got to see more. Now, I'm not saying it's not true, but if we're going by this site right here, this is the same site, Sean Brown, that lied to us the last time when it was talking about a signing. I have not seen yet where I don't see, if you're kind of looking at the headlines right here, I don't see this yet. Let's see. I don't see this on Jadeveon Clowney. No, I don't see it. Yeah, if Jadeveon Clowney, let's look over here. Let's look over here on X. Again, if that was the website you're going by, that's probably not true. But let's look over here on X. Let me see. Yeah, I don't see anything on Jadeveon Clowney on X. Because I'm telling you now, if that was true, they would be jumping all over this on X. Now, Jadeveon Clowney, he's still not there. Yep, don't see it. Hold on a second. Let me see something here. Shout out to Cowboys Fan Talk. Let's see what's over here on X, and I'm going to come back to the game breakdown. I think this is very powerful. Shout out to Cowboys Fan Talk. It says here, Cowboys fan talk. I know I haven't been as engaged, but renewing my vows today, 10 years strong. Cowboys fan talk. Yeah. Yeah, I see you. I see you, Cowboys fan talk. Yeah, I see you. I see you, Cowboys fan talk. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's give him a standing ovation. Yeah. I love to see marriages. I love to see marriages work. Boy, it just has an effect on people. Y'all see those people in the background? Cowboys fan talk. Yeah. 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 Absolutely love it. I ain't gonna say what my plans are, but yeah, I like it. I like it. All right, let's get back to this thing. All right, let's get back to this thing. Shout out to Cowboys fan talk. That's what's going on next. So it don't look like Jadeveon Clowney. Again, Jadeveon Clowney is signed. But let's get back over here to this Giants breakdown. Let's see here. Let's see here. Big Rumbowski. Boy, you not playing. Boy, Ed Water is right. But this dude got MDS, Michael Derangement Syndrome. He has went crazy on this thing, man. This dude won't let it go. Won't let it go. Now, the Big Rumbowski, a lot of people don't understand. Josh Allen did surpass Dak Prescott. And where he surpassed him is, he surpassed him in the most guaranteed money for a quarterback. And that's really what you want, is the guaranteed money. So, Josh Allen has the most guaranteed money. The most guaranteed money. All right, let's get back to this breakdown. I want to show you a couple things. Yeah, Davion Wallace again. It's that same website that got somebody else. They thought that it was somebody else they were talking about, and it wasn't true. It's that same doggone website. It's that same doggone website. All right, so Brandon Cupp, he said Kenny Clark plays football, not doing a podcast. And you just had to throw this part in, didn't you? He said Kenny Clark plays football, not doing a podcast and dancing all in the videos with his neck. Boy, I see you. I see you. Yeah, I see you. I see you. Stay in school, kids. They teach you how to investigate to find the right answer, says Little Bud. MJ tell the truth. He said, yeah, they lied. They know he's going to sign with the Cowboys Monday. MJ tell the truth. I got a strange feeling he's about to sign with the Cowboys. I got a strange feeling. I got a strange feeling he's about to stay in there. All right. Yeah. Congratulations to CFT. All right. So let's look at some things real quick. Again, we were looking at that breakdown of the game. And man, I'm telling you, we're going to find out very fast how good this Cowboys defense is. If I'm telling us right now, if the Commanders held the New York Football Giants to 231 yards, 157 passing, 74 yards rushing, 4 third downs, you just watch what the Cowboys do to them. You watch what the Cowboys do to them. I got a strange feeling this week they're going to probably put a spy. They're probably going to put a spy on Russell Wilson, because I think they're going to be prepared for Jackson Dart in case the New York Giants try to make that switch. I got a strange feeling, though, guys. I don't think they're going to make that switch. I don't think they're going to make that switch if they're smart. That line is in absolute shambles. They'll be crazy to throw this dude out there. They'll be crazy to throw him out there. Before I look at the keys to the Cowboys and the Giants winning, I want to look at the Cowboys and Giants box score from the last time that Dak Prescott played. The last time Dak Prescott played the Giants, I think it was the September the 20th game. Because if I'm not mistaken, Dak Prescott was not available. I think Dak Prescott got hurt maybe the week before the second time they played him. Yeah, it was Cooper Rush. So the first game, man, let me tell you something. This is why the Cowboys got to really come out. Because do y'all remember what happened last year? We came out last year and we said, man, the Cowboys, and let me give us a refresher from last year. This is why this is so important, what we do. What we do in this game and how we come out. So the Cowboys came out against the Cleveland Browns. Do y'all remember that? Anybody remember this? Dallas Cowboys signed Dak Prescott the day of the game. Cowboys came out 33-17. Dak Prescott, pedestrian day, 19 of 32, 179 yards, 1 TD. Zeke 10 for 40, 1 touchdown. Demo went absolutely insane in this game. The Cowboys picked off Deshaun Watson 2 times. The Cowboys wound up beating the Cleveland Browns 33-10. Cowboys came out, got on top of them 20-3, got up 30-10, and then it was pretty much over 33-17. Y'all remember this? Then we came back out the very next game. We came out the very next not the very next game, but we kind of went on a downward spiral, if I'm not mistaken. And I think we got beat by I think we wound up getting beat by the Saints, the Baltimore Ravens. By the time we saw the Giants, we were 2-2. And I'm telling you, man, we barely escaped this game. It was 20-15. If I'm not mistaken, this is the game that Michael Parsons got hurt in too. Dak Prescott was 2 of 27, 221 yards, 2 touchdowns. Daniel Jones, 29 for 40, 281 yards, 1 touchdown, interception. But this game came down to the absolute wire. This game came down to the wire, man. It really did. We had 2 touchdowns in the first half, 2 field goals in the second half. Thing to save the game for us, we were able to pretty much keep them at field goals. But this game, when we played the Giants, it wasn't a pretty game. It really wasn't. We played them in New York, and it was not a pretty game. I mean, if you look at Dak numbers, you'd have thought we dominated this game. But the reality is we didn't dominate this game the way people think. We really kept them in this game. Kept them in this game. The New York Giants, we literally we gave up a sack in that game. We had 11 penalties for 89 yards. They beat us on time of possession. I mean, I'm telling us, it was a very tough game against the New York Giants. So the Cowboys have got to really come out in this game, and they have got to get on top of the New York Giants. They have got to get on top of the New York Giants. So I want to give us the keys, I believe, to the New York Giants beating the Dallas Cowboys, if there is a such thing. If there is a such thing, I want to give us the keys. These are the keys. These are the keys to the Giants beating the Dallas Cowboys. These are the keys. They only have one chance. They only have one chance to me. They have got to rush Dak Prescott. It's the only way they win. The only way they beat the Dallas Cowboys, they will have to pass rush Dak Prescott, make him hurry his throws, get him on the ground, make him turn the ball over. The only chance the New York Giants have to beat the Dallas Cowboys, it is to sack Dak Prescott. Their defensive line is their strength. That's it. Defensive line is their strength. I don't think they have any other. I don't think there's any other hope. I don't think there's any other hope for the New York Giants. They have got to find a way to not only get to Dak Prescott, they would also have to figure out a way to get multiple turnovers on Dak Prescott. And I think it'll take multiple turnovers. I don't think one turnover helps them win the game. I don't even think 2 turnovers will help them win the game. They will need a minimum of 3 turnovers. They'll have to turn the Cowboys over 3 times at least to even be in this game. I think another thing they'll have to do, if Russell Wilson gets the opportunity to throw the ball, I don't believe it, because here's a problem for them. They can't pass block. They can't run block. This is going to be a problem for them. They can't run the ball. This is going to be a problem for them. If they couldn't run against the Commanders, they will not be able to run against the Cowboys with Kenny Clark and Osa Odigizua. I promise you they won't be able to run. They won't be able to pass block. If their number one offensive lineman is out, and I do believe he's going to be out, they have him on the depth chart, if I'm not mistaken. They have him on the depth chart as they're saying that he's playing. I don't think he is. And if he is, he will not be able to block the Cowboys. He will not be able to block the Cowboys. And this is a huge, huge loss. This is a huge loss for them. This is their unofficial depth chart. They released this on September the 11th. I don't think it's true. I think it's smoke and mirrors. Their left tackle, Andrew Thomas. I don't think Andrew Thomas is playing. And Andrew Thomas is not playing. Not playing is going to compound the problem. It's going to compound the problem. I don't think they're going to be able to run the ball. So when you look back over here, this is their only chance defensively. It's their only chance. Offensively, one chance. Attack the Cowboys' corners. In particular, I think they're going to have to find out, like, who is going to be in the, find the receiver that's in the slot and find the number 2 receiver. In this game, if they're going to win it, Darius Slayton and Wan'Dale Robinson. Darius Slayton and Wan'Dale Robinson. Because I'm telling you now, Trayvon Diggs, it sounds like they're saying the Cowboys, Trayvon Diggs is going to trail Malik Neighbors. He's going to travel with Malik Neighbors. I'm confident that Trayvon Diggs, for the most part, he will be able to handle Malik Neighbors. The key for them is Darius Slayton, Wan'Dale Robinson. Will they be able to attack whoever the Cowboys put on that other side of cornerback? I'm confident that Kyrie Elam is going to be fine. I'm ready to see what ready is. Pun intended. Is ready ready? Is he up to the challenge? Because he'll probably be on Wan'Dale Robinson. Is he up to the challenge? Wan'Dale Robinson, smaller wide receiver, very quick. Not necessarily fast, but very quick. They say ready is a ball hawk. They say ready is quick and all these different things. So, will he be ready for Wan'Dale Robinson? So when I go back and I look at the keys, they have got to attack the Cowboys corners. Scatty Boo, whatever his name is, not worried. Not worried. Their only hope is throwing the ball. But how do you throw the ball when you cannot block? This is what you call a conundrum. This is what you call a conundrum. I don't know how they're going to do it. I don't know how they're going to do it. How are they going to run block? How are they going to pass block without their best without their best offensive player on the field? How are they going to achieve these things? I think what you're going to see with them, I think you're going to see rollouts, bootlegs. I think they're going to try to move the pocket. I think they're going to try to do screens because the Cowboys, I think the Cowboys are going to be so strong in the middle. The Cowboys are very strong in the middle. So they're going to try to find ways to get outside of the Cowboys, the middle of the Cowboys line again, which is also Diggy Zua. Man, I'll be honest with you. The Giants got their work cut out for them against the Cowboys. The Giants have their work cut out for them against the Cowboys. It's been 13 wins in a row. I don't see how they stop the Cowboys this time. The Cowboys are just so much better. So much better. I was looking at this earlier. Let's look at the position group. Position groupings. If you go quarterback to quarterback, it's Dallas. Running back to running backs, it's Dallas. O-line versus O-line, it's Dallas. D-line versus D-line, that's the strength of the New York Giants. Are they even? Secondary against secondary. The reason why I give the edge to Dallas, Trayvon Diggs. Trayvon Diggs. I give the edge to Dallas because of Trayvon Diggs. Wide receivers. It's the Dallas Cowboys. It's the Dallas Cowboys, no matter how you slice it. And oh, don't let me forget this one. Special teams. When it comes to special teams, they are not better than the Cowboys. The Cowboys got Kevontae Turpin, and the Cowboys got Brandon Aubrey. In every single category, the only place they have a chance with the Cowboys, the only place they have an opportunity, that's it. That's it. This is the key to victory. The key to victory for the New York Giants is their defensive line. They have no shot anywhere else. No shot. They have no shot anywhere else. This is it. Let me give you the Cowboys keys and why the Cowboys should absolutely, if they just come out and do what they're supposed to do, they are going to obliterate. The Cowboys should obliterate the Giants at home. Brian Schottenheimer, boy, it's going to be welcome home. The homecoming game. When you pick the homecoming game, I said it in the beginning. A lot of teams, when they have their homecoming game, they don't pick the toughest team they can play. They pick the team they know they can win if they're the home team. They're going, the Cowboys. I'm sure the Cowboys didn't pick this. But again, what better game for Brian Schottenheimer to make his debut than in Dallas against the New York Football Giants? Keys to victory for the Cowboys. Come out with the same intensity, the same physicality. Come out with that same intensity and physicality against the Philadelphia Eagles. You come out and let these boys know you mean business. Punch them boys in the face and in the gut. Punch them boys in the face and in the gut. Clean up the drops. Clean up the drops. No fumbles. Clean up the drops. Cowboys clean up the drops. It's a no-brainer. Cowboys. The key. Javonte Williams and Jaden Blue. I think they may be the tandem. If I'm the Cowboys, one of the things I do to the Giants is I'm running the ball. I agree with Brian Broaddus. I think you need to really slow them down a little bit in the beginning. Run the ball. Run the ball. Run the ball. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to show you how the Cowboys should attack them. But run the ball. This New York Giants defense, I'm telling you, this is their key. The key to them in this whole game. This game is riding on Thibodeau, Lawrence, Roaches, and Abdul Carter. This is what this game is rolling on for them. I'm pretty sure they're going to try to move Abdul Carter around. They're going to probably try to move him around a little bit. Try to maybe use him like Green Bay used MP. But if I'm the Cowboys, the way you slow up a team like them, the way you attack a team like them, they're going to be very anxious to stop the Cowboys. Run the ball. Run the ball. Run the ball. The Cowboys also, I know CeeDee Lamb is saying that he wants this to be a bounce back game. But if I'm the Cowboys, I'm telling CeeDee Lamb, bro, you're going to have your bounce back game another day. You're going to have your bounce back game another day. Because where I'm going, if I'm the Cowboys, is whoever is on George Pickens. That's where I'm going. The Cowboys have got to feed George Pickens. The Cowboys have to feed George Pickens. George Pickens. No less than 10 targets. No less than 10 targets. This is the game we got to acclimate George Pickens into this offense, not as a decoy, but as a big-time wide receiver that we got him for. This is the game. Feed Pickens. And as a matter of fact, I love something that Brian Broaddus was talking about. Brian Broaddus was talking about this off coverage. So we may see them try to use this off coverage. George Pickens again. I think George Pickens is not a better receiver than CeeDee Lamb, but I think he has stronger hands than CeeDee Lamb. If I'm the Cowboys, I am not just going to try to hit George Pickens deep. The way you deal with this off coverage, Cowboys. How about we get him on these short to intermediate routes? Short and intermediate routes. You make the Giants come up. You make that weak secondary they have, you make them come up and you make them play George Pickens. And then when you make them come up, then you can hit them deep. Then you can hit them deep. But I do believe one of the keys is going to be, first of all, starting out, kind of making them understand, y'all going to do what y'all going to play off coverage. Y'all going to send forward. Well, we're going to run the ball and be successful at it. And I do think this is where Javonte Williams is going to help the Dallas Cowboys, because as much as I want to see Phil Maffa, as much as I want to see Jaden Blue, I'm going to give Javonte Williams credit. He's a good power runner. He's a good power runner. Another key for the Dallas Cowboys. Attack the Giants' corners. Attack the Giants' corners. Attack them. Go at them. CeeDee Lamb, go at them. But in particular, please make sure you get George Pickens going at him too. And I'll tell you another battle in this game. Turpin in space. I would also like to see the Cowboys get Flournoy involved. Flournoy has been brought up to the Cowboys. He got signed again to the 53-man roster. I want to see Flournoy, maybe, because I think the third wide receiver is very important. I think it's very important. We got to get this man involved. Jake Ferguson. Jake Ferguson needs to eat on these safeties. Jake Ferguson in the seams. Dak Prescott and Jake Ferguson. Ferguson has had some great games against the Giants. Gotta get him. Gotta get him. Definitely gotta get him. Now let's look at the run game. This is kind of where I am on the Cowboys. I'm praying that Jaden Blue plays. I'm praying that Jaden Blue plays. And the way I'm looking at this with the Cowboys have got to attack in two different ways. If I'm the Cowboys, I don't have time for Jaden Blue and all he wants to prove that he's a between the tackles runner. I don't have time for Jaden Blue with all of his I can run between BB and Smith, or I can run between Booker and BB. I don't have time for Jaden Blue with this. If I'm the Cowboys, Jaden Blue, I need you eating up these edges. Eating up these edges. We've already seen it. The Cowboys, They are running this attack style. They are running this offense. We're noticing something. What are they doing? The Cowboys. They're pulling the tackles. We've seen them do it. They're not only pulling. They're not only sending steel out. They're sending these guys. They're pulling. They're pulling. The Cowboys are doing all kinds of things in their run game. They're not running per se directly at teams as much as they are kind of attacking teams on slants and different things like that. And when they do, they need to send this man, Jaden Blue. The Cowboys have got to allow this man to attack this New York Giants defense. You have got, the way you stop a pass rusher, a pass rushing team, because we already know. We know what New York wants to do. The New York Giants. The New York Giants. This is what they want. The New York Giants, they want to attack these A gaps, these B gaps. They want to attack. That's going to be their strength. So what do the Cowboys do? The Cowboys play it smart. Don't try to hit them in their strength. The way you run at teams like this, boom, 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 boom. Get you some counters. Get you some cutbacks. Let that be Javonte Williams. Let Javonte Williams handle all of the A and B gap stuff. Let Javonte Williams handle all that. Let Javonte have it. Jaden Blue don't mean he can't do some A and B gap stuff. But you give Javonte Williams all the power stuff. Give Jordan Blue all of the outside stuff. And I'm telling you, this will be a 1-2 punch. That'll be too much for the Giants. It'll be too much for the Giants. It'll be the 1-2 punch that you need. It'll give you the play action that you want. And it'll give you the touchdowns that will absolutely destroy and deflate the New York Giants. That's the game. That's the game. The Cowboys. The Cowboys. The Cowboys. Again, I think I said it the other day. I'm telling y'all where I'm going. I am going 34. 34-9. Dallas Cowboys. $34-9 Dallas Cowboys. Yeah. Let's go. The goal is 1-1. The goal is 1-1. That's the goal. 1-1. Y'all tell me what you think. Y'all give me your scores before we get up out of here. What is your scores for the game? Me and Ron Hanna, we about in the same boat. Yeah, Robert Thomas, I'm with you. Robert Thomas said, look, G, if we can score on our first 3 drives, I agree. If we can score on our first 3 drives in Philly, we shouldn't have no problem against the Giants. Dak was incredible against the Eagles. He got away from a lot of guys. It's still threaded the needle. Yeah. Ryan said, Fowler and Williams and Easy better get off with multiple sacks, G. Man, I'm telling you, I am anticipating Kenny Clark getting his first sack with the Cowboys this week. Robert Thomas, I agree. Kenny and also a beast. Lulu, 18, what up? Uh-oh. Prayers up for Dom. Boy, I hate injuries. I hate those kind of injuries in the game, man. I do. Prayers up. Lil Buzz said, I believe this coaching staff is going to have us winning the games we're supposed to win and be competitive in the games we aren't. Yes, sir, I agree. This is a big game for the Cowboys. I really want to see the preparation in the week to where we know that there is a team that we should absolutely beat. Dominique Pittman said when he guarded Neighbors, he shut him down. It was everyone else that Neighbors was getting the best of. Yeah, and I hear that Trayvon Diggs is traveling. I'm continuing to pray for Trayvon Diggs' health and to have the most incredible season he's ever had. Robert Thomas said, I'm predicting 5 sacks by the boys. Yeah, me too. Robert M., he says, real talk, Giants defense is legit. That's it. It's their only hope. It's their only hope. And that's why the Cowboys got to run at them. Marvin Washington, that's the key. The only way I can see them beating the Cowboys is multiple turnovers. Not one, multiple. Jared said the Giants have no shot. He said off how good Dak Prescott is in his history alone against this team, they shouldn't win it. It's not going to happen. It's going to be tough. Yeah, Brandon Cup prayers for the Texas A&M player. Robert Thomas said, I would love to see Gruden do their breakdown on this game. He is a hoot. The man is serious crazy about football. Robert Thomas, we're going to use him all season long, but I don't think he saw a need to do the Giants and the Cowboys. He doesn't do every game. He actually just kind of does the big games. Lil Bud said, I'm giving the Giants 6 points. We might put a 50 burger on them. Man. Ron Hanna, this is our get right game. Yeah, it's going to be tough. Yeah, it's going to be tough on the Giants. I believe it's going to be tough. I'm hoping that he's playing, but I haven't seen the Cowboys unofficial depth chart, Brandon Cup. They made it sound like that he might play, but I haven't seen it. Because on the unofficial depth chart, I thought he was on there. Let's see. And I think this one is old. But if this one stays the same, it'll be Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders. But it does have Jaden Blue on the third team. But I'm not sure if this is right for the Giants. I don't think it's right. So I haven't seen anything on the official. I haven't seen anything on the Cowboys. Nope. Tony Yarish, but this was from the 9th. Let's see. So, again, if this turns out to be correct, Jaden Blue will not be. This was of September the 9th. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. I haven't seen anything. If anybody's seen anything updated. So if it's not going to be Jaden Blue, then Miles Sanders will have to do what I said against the Giants. It'll be Miles Sanders. If I'm the Cowboys, this is it. This is it for Miles Sanders for me. The fumble was already too much for me. This is going to be it for him for me. But we'll see how it goes. But again, I got 34-9. 34-9. Big Robowski said, don't throw it to Featherstone. He said, don't throw it to Featherstone. Yeah, Robert Thomas, I'm going to do a video about that. Damon Woody said the Cowboys look dangerous. They can prove it again this week. Yeah, Flournoy is actually starting. I mean, he's active. He's actually active. Big Rombowski, I don't know. Tober going to be a healthy and active. I don't know. Again, the Cowboys have been very secretive about this doggone depth chart. Lulu said GP doesn't get involved in the play unless it's for him. Half button and not block it. I don't like it. Well, I can tell you this, Lulu. They're going to get him involved this week. You watch what I tell you. Yeah, Robert Thomas said attack the corners. Shotty had no problem going deep. I want to see 200 yards on the ground. Yeah. I think you got to get them on the ground, man. This is how you slow up a team like them. You got to slow them up. Derek G said it's 30-10 the Cowboys. Yeah, Marvin Washington said easy pickings. Brandon Cup, 38-13. Katharina Kiss, 38-10. Carl Alder, 27-13. Corliss Piper, 45-10. Sean Brown, 42-7. Boy, y'all hitting them 40 burgers. I like it. Y'all hitting them 40 burgers. Lisa Worley, she going for the shutout. Lisa Worley said 31-0. 31-0. Lisa Worley, if the Cowboys go 31-0, I'm going to get you a Jalen Tolbert jersey. Hold me to it. Corliss Piper, 45-10. LaQueen, 30-13 Cowboys. Ron Hanna, can't have the drops or fumbles. Avoid that I'm still feeling. 38-9. Me and Ron Hanna about the same spot. Corliss Piper again, 45-10. Andre Johnson, he says 31-6. Wait a minute. Pasta said 63-0. Pasta going college scores up in this thing. 63-0. Woo! On what we gonna do for you on that one. What up, Roderick Sigler? What's going on? Jared Thomas, he said 42-10. He said the Cowboys. He said the Cowboys will get 8 sacks. There's a chance they get 10. Boy, I love these predictions y'all giving, boy. Cowboys for life 77. He said 31-10. Ron Zinguidi, he said 38-13. Boy. Boy. This is crazy. Robert M., he said 34-13. Big Mouse Dog, 35-10. Man. Lost in translation. This is why this is a big game, lost in translation, because the Cowboys have been guilty of doing this under McCarthy. So will the Cowboys play like they played against the Eagles? I want to see that same intensity. I got a strange feeling, lost in translation. These boys going to be on fire. Azteca Aguilar, 34-17. Lulu, 40 Burger, he said 41-9. Yeah. Robert Thomas, no info. Man, they keeping this thing close to the vest, man. Derek G, I'm sorry, man. This is this doggone Dallas stuff. Hey, we're going to get off of here. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll do the post-game show. And y'all remember, Monday Night Football, Thursday Night Football, Sunday Night Football. We coming on twice tomorrow. We coming up after the game, and we doing Cowboys After Dark. It is going to be exciting. Nisi said 41-3. Big Rambowski, he said 31-26. Vegas has a 5.5 point spread. Big Rambowski. The conspiracy theorist in me says the NFL is winning on some of these doggone spreads. We're going to see if that's all it is. 31-26. As long as the Cowboys win, I'm good. As long as they have a good showing, I'm winning. Robert M. 31, maintain the edges. Don't let Russ get outside. Facts. All right. Y'all have a good night. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Until the next time. DC4L, God bless. Hold on a second. Father God, praying for the players tomorrow. We're praying for the health of all the players. In particular, Father God, we ask that you keep Dak Prescott, Trayvon Diggs, keep them healthy. Praying for Demarion Overshown, that he gets healthy. Health for everybody on the field. Nothing serious, but keep our quarterback healthy. Keep Trayvon Diggs healthy. Praying for Demarion Overshown. Praying for everybody out there who need prayers. Again, we know you don't care about football, but again, DC4L, God bless. Until the next time, let's talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. Amen. Peace.
Yo, G, bless him, bless him, bless him.